All right, gentlemen. Nobody named Kevin podcast. Is anybody in this room named Kevin?
Nope.
Double check the birth certificate this morning. All good.
Good.
Not I. Cool, man. So what's up? What's up, guys?
Oh no, you want to jump into crypto first? We want to see how much money Quentin's lost.
I've actually made a lot today.
So you didn't listen to your gut instinct,
bro.
You did the opposite of your instinct, yeah.
No. I didn't spend a lot. Well, I did a little bit. I spent a little bit, but I made quite a bit off Uniswap, dude. Like,
looking at that, dude, it had a huge gain today, like 40%, right?
It's right now. It's
sitting at
50 at
1.9.
Yeah, bro. So I've invested as a total.
Mental math taking a little bit. You struggling.
Mental math taking. Yep.
Dude, if you click it, it'll tell you how much you bought of it.
Yeah, I gotta add it all up though. Just lists it.
Oh, my bad.
Struggling.
Let's see.
Struggling.
6 plus 4 is 10.
Common Core.
Dude, so I was up like $100 in Ethereum yesterday.
Nice.
I was looking
Dude,
good.
I finally did do the Ethereum because
you buy the dip?
Yeah, I tried to. I haven't looked at it right now. What's it at? 1939. I bought it. Fuck. I bought it 1940.
1940.
It's $2 down right now, so it's not too bad.
Just give it like a month or two, and you'll be up in it. It just keeps going up, dude.
It dropped to 1811 right at like 440 or something. Yeah, for like a quick second.
Dude, you should have bought that 1600 drop that was happening like on like Tuesday, on like Monday or Tuesday.
I feel dumb. I feel dumb for not jumping in when it was like 700.
Oh yeah, like, in the very beginning.
That's what I feel dumb about.
Well, not even the very beginning. That was like 2 months ago at this point, but a month and a half, 2 months ago. I mean, talk about the beginning, dude. It was like 7 cents.
It wasn't that long ago.
And that's the crazy part of like all these altcoins is like, moving around $10-$20 here or there. Like I own 20 coins of like several altcoins because I just put $20 in. They're less than $1, but it's like I keep looking at them, but I'm like, but if you look at their all time, they were like half a cent a year ago.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to just let it ride. Like this constant look at it. It's trying to watch the water boil. Yeah, it's crazy. But so did y'all look into the NFTs?
I forgot what it stood for, but they're like super secure.
Tokens. So they're not. So imagine this. Okay, so like it's a piece of artwork on the blockchain. It can be anything. Like Mark Cuban made it. Mark Cuban made a GIF of him dancing, and he made 10 of them. And they only exist on the blockchain. So if you own, it's artwork on the blockchain. If you own this piece, it's public that you own that piece. Okay? And they're trading for Ethereum, mainly for Ethereum. So it's like that piece of art belongs to you on the public ledger. You can see who bought it, who sold it. Okay? Non-fungible tokens. Non-fungible just means it can't be duplicated. So like, if I give you $5, you can hand me a different $5 bill. We both have $5. But if I give you a holographic Charizard and you give me a holographic Pikachu, we just exchanged several $1,000s that does not match. We had 2 Pokemon cards, but it's not the same value. That's non-fungible, right? So these pieces of art and these projects that are going in, like people, I mean, it's kind of too late at this point. At this point, you're like, you'd be FOMO buying. But like, there's like CryptoPunks, there's like all these artists putting their stuff out. And, and you can see people bought it for, 0.1 of an Ethereum. People bought it for half an Ethereum. And days later, they're selling for $250,000, which is multiple Ethereum. And it's like, these are the thing. These are going to be the thing. Like, you buy it 5 years from now, it's like several $1 million because some of these NFTs, and they don't look crazy. Some of them are just like 8-bit artworks of people have sold for several $1 million already.
So I was wondering about that. I mean, I get where the value comes from, but I mean, can you just slap anything on there and just be like, all right, worth $1 million?
Okay. And that's where the market gets messed up because you could right now, you could make an NFT and say, I want 20 Ethereum for it. And some sucker might buy it. But the problem is you're pricing it at the top of the market. So like the ones that are making money, they started out as basically nothing. And then they're so rare, they cannot be duplicated. Okay. So like it's a flex. It's like owning a Picasso. It's like owning it's like that. It's like, I have it. I have one of the only 3 in existence. And then like with the Mark Cuban one, he made 10 of them. Somebody bought 2 and destroyed 1 because you can destroy them. It's the same as if I bought a painting off of a famous artist and burned it, or if I bought 2 and burned 1, I'm like, now there's only 1 in existence. Like, what are you going to do?
I don't know. I mean, to me, dude, it just kind of seems kind of dumb, really. Like, I don't understand.
I lost you just for a second there, boss.
I don't understand the value that's brought into it. That's my thing. Like, I get that it's rarity, but it's like the same thing as like artwork. What determines it as good? What determines it as bad? It's the people, and then it comes behind the name behind it. So for me, it's like one of those things. Like, honestly, I'm not quite interested in it because like it's something. It's cool, but it's nothing I'm ever gonna look at or throw money at because it makes no sense. Like
hey guys,
art's subjective.
I'll be right back real quick. Hang on 1 second.
All right. Yeah, you're good. Yeah, so like it's not necessarily some of the artworks are just so masterful and breathtaking, I mean some of the stuff is like, it's like, okay, I see that guy's pretty talented. It's the rarity and because it's public. It's because it's like you can't recreate it. It's like this guy owns it, for $500,000. If you want to buy it from him, and then there's a public ledger of who bought it the last time for that price. So you'll see it got bought for 1 Ethereum, then it sold for 5 Ethereum, then it sold for 9 Ethereum, then it sold for 20 Ethereum. So it's like, okay, this has that value because that's what people will pay for it. I mean, that's everything.
I don't know. Like, it's cool, but I don't know how to describe it. It just does not interest me. Like, it makes no sense. It's like normal artwork. It's like, it's cool to know that it's a thing, but at the end of the day, I could care less. Like, it's like if I went to go see the Mona Lisa, like, it's cool, but I could honestly care less whether this piece of artwork or not existed because I'm just not that into it. It's not my cup of tea. It's one of those things, too, is like, what value does that? Okay, cool. I own a Mark Cuban GIF. Like, okay. Like, I don't know. Doesn't interest me at all. I guess it's one of those things where it's just not my cup of tea, whereas I guess for some people it is, but even then, like, there's also the theory artwork is only priced at what it's at just so people can wash their money. Rich people can bid on it and wash their money.
So here's the thing, like, I like that you bring up the example of, like, if I went and saw the Mona Lisa, it's in a museum. Imagine if you had some Scarface-style mansion and owned the Mona Lisa. You were the only one that had possession of it. It would be worth way, way more and be like, I have it. And the museum would have to be like, we'll give you $1 million. Like, nope. We'll give you $5 million. Nope. Like it's just a rarity thing. That's all. It's a flex that only certain people can own it. And it's a big money game. None of us could get one, honestly. None of us could get one. We could get one, but it wouldn't be worth anything. It'll be like, it's kind of like, everybody can buy Ethereum, everybody can buy Bitcoin, everybody can buy a nice car, but only 9 people can own a certain CryptoPunk. Everybody can buy, all the millionaires can buy a Lamborghini, but there's only 15 holographic Charizards in existence. It's like that. It's just that rarity thing, and it's just people with that level of money that they just, it's a pissing contest. That's all it is. And if you hold that from them and they want in on it, you know what I mean? And it's like, okay, yeah, sure. Give me $5 million for it. Okay, whatever. As long as I have it.
I don't know, man.
That's what it'll be in a few years.
That it just doesn't interest me. Like, is it cool that it's something that's happening in crypto? Yeah, but just no interest in it. Well, like I was saying, I mean, like, it doesn't make sense to me because, like, I understand to a degree what artwork is and why it makes sense to have, like, and I get why rich people buy it because it's obviously what rich people do. It's funny, but it's a loophole in the system. They'll pay an artist, $50,000, hey, make a painting, and then they hire a bunch of their art buddies to come in and inspect it, and they value it at a couple $1 million. Then that rich person donates it to a museum, writes that $5 million off, spending $50 to write off $5 million. So it's like, I mean, there's techniques to that, but digital artwork, like, I don't know. In a medium like that, I just don't see it. Like, I get that it's rare, but it's like, even then, what assigns value to it other than other people wanting it? But if I don't care about it, then it's no value.
That's all it is.
That's what I say. That's almost everything, though. Like, a Lambo is only so much because people will pay that much.
I mean, there's that, but there's also the quality of engineering within it. Okay. You know what I mean?
Okay, yes, you can't buy a Lambo for $5, but what is the actual cost of it? Okay, and versus
a premium.
Yeah, they are making so much profit off of each one. You know what I mean? Like it comes to that value thing, but like with the NFTs and assigning random values, because again, it's public information. So like influencers are doing NFTs. Logan Paul released his own. Or Jake Paul, whatever the other one that did the Suicide Forest. I always get them mixed up. Yeah, Logan with Impulsive. He made his own like collectible card. There's only so many of them, but he started it off at like 5 ETH or 20 ETH, something like that. And it's like there's no one's like what one person's bought it for that. With like the other NFTs, it's like you can see how it climbed up. Okay, so when you buy it, let's say you buy it for 20 ETH, the last person bought it for 15 ETH. You're like, okay, this is at least worth 15 ETH. So if I go to sell it, I'm not out anything less than that. With the Logan Paul one, you go from 0 to 20. You're like, why is this 20 ETH? No one has bought it for that. That's kind of where it's at. Like, that's like, but right now it's already kind of almost about to hit the peak. You have Mark Cuban, Gary Vee, you have a bunch of influencers getting in on it because they think they're going to cash out on it. But it's like, it's right towards the peak where everybody's jumping in. It's that crazy part of like, buying 2 copies of every video game. One of them will finally land and be valuable, but will pay for all the others. It's like buying every Pokemon card right now. Sure, one of those might be valuable in 20 years. Like there's, you know what I mean? Like how many Pokemon cards are there? Charizard's worth the most.
I guess that makes sense.
There's the anniversary cards that just came out. They're already being scalped.
Yeah, dude.
Kids' meals.
Yep.
I don't know. There's just some things though, like McDonald's cards. Like, dude, that's never gonna pay off. It's so mass produced that it's not gonna be worth anything. I feel like there's a flood on the market to that.
Dude, no, they're scalped. McDonald's had to ask people, please stop doing this, and they had to put restrictions on how many. Like people were just buying. Because you could buy the cards without buying the Happy Meal. So people just running up and buying all of them.
I don't know. That's like scalping the PlayStation 5. Like,
I didn't know you could do that.
It doesn't matter. Like, they're so massively produced that you scalping them, if people aren't willing to pay your price, you don't make money on it. And when they do an anniversary card like that, it's like, dude, to me, it doesn't pay off. Because it's like, you come back, of course, like, you may make a few there, but you won't make a lot of money because at the end of the day, they're so massively produced, no one cares about the anniversary card, but if you have the original, it'll be worth something.
Well, the anniversary cards are, like, unique to them, and then they're only sold at McDonald's. 10 years from now, the only people who kept them in preservation will make money off of maybe one or two. Like it might be the Chimchar, or it might just only be the Pikachu, or it might only just be the Treecko, whatever. But they're the only ones that hold them. So if you want one, I'm gonna charge you. Like it's all that supply and demand. You know what I mean? Like I only have a few. With the PS5 situation, you have to scalp it the day it launches, and you have to make money in your first week, or you're just holding the bag. You're just holding the bag, and you're like, cool. You know, because they're going to keep making PS5s for the next 8 years. You know what I mean? The anniversary cards are going to get cut off. You know what I mean? Like, so that's the difference.
I don't know. I don't know. I guess those are the things that I just don't understand the value in. I mean, I don't know. Even if you go into something that I genuinely care about, it's like, it doesn't have value that way. But I mean, then we covered it like last week or a couple weeks ago or something where we talked about the fact that like there's certain things that just don't interest me. They don't bring me value because I'm a practical thinker. I don't care about the hype around stuff.
And that's the thing. Like when you make investments like that, you have to be okay if you actually just keep it.
I mean, I guess you have to have some sort of sentimental to it.
Well, like, okay, so like our Magic cards.
The gamble.
Like our Magic cards, like if I still have them in 10 more years, I can play with them. You know what I mean? Or like, okay, you know, this is cool. I can show, you know, my son and be like, hey, this is what I used to do. Or get, you know what I mean? If they're worth nothing still. Pokemon cards. If those people still have them in 10 years, hopefully they're just like, all right, cool, I'm going to trash them or whatever. Maybe they're cool. That's the thing. Like Funko Pops, like a few of those will be worth a couple hundred to a couple grand. But you got to buy all, like as many as you can. You know what I mean? So it's like, but here's the thing. When you're buying Funko Pops, are you cool having having a room of Funko Pops? Most Funko Pops, yeah, I think they look cool. So I'm not really at a loss here if it doesn't play out. That's those type of investments. With Bitcoin and Ethereum or stocks, it's like that's a totally different type of investment. It's like the money's going to go up, and you know what I mean. Or, you know what I mean. The collectibles, you have to be okay if it goes nowhere. Would I still like this thing?
I guess. I mean, that's where I'm saying. It does not make sense to me to scalp those cards and get as many as you can. Like at that point, you're not okay with holding the bag on it. Like, if I buy, like, 30 Charizards or whatever and hold it, I'm not okay with holding the bag. If I bought 30 of them, obviously I'm just trying to make $1. You know what I mean?
But you probably spent $60 to $80. It's like, if it just doesn't play out in 10 years, what am I out?
Not that much.
I guess. I don't know. It just doesn't make a lot of sense.
But here's the thing. It's the Charizard thing, the holographic Charizard thing. That is just like the GameStop thing. You missed out. All right? Like, move on. You got to find the next thing because everybody buying up these Pokemon cards is trying to recreate the holographic Charizard effect. Mm-hmm. They're hoping that one of these cards in 10 years is worth $150,000 and they have 5 of them and they can, retire off of it. And it's like, I think you're just trying to recreate something that's, you know what I mean? You're trying to recreate that Charizard effect. It's not there. People are trying to recreate the GameStop thing, and it's like we talked about. It's like you missed your boat. You missed your boat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just not gonna happen anymore. I don't know. That's why, I'm holding in Ethereum and stuff like that. Like at this point, any money I throw into something, I'm holding. I'm just not gonna sell. I'm just gonna hold it.
Did y'all watch that video I sent y'all?
I watched it. Yeah.
No.
What did you think about? Part that stuck out most to me is when he was comparing it and saying it wasn't a currency, it was an asset, like something you just hold that appreciates or whatever, like gold. And then also how he was like, he finally made stable coins make sense. Like the DAI, I never understood what the point of the DAI coin was. But so today I did my math. I've invested $695 in Uni. Today I'm sitting at 1105, so I've made about $400 or something. But what I didn't do it, but I was thinking about all day because I was like, I'm still not quite sure how it works. But he's like, once it pumps right before the dump, you move all your assets, your gains down to a stable coin because it's stable, it doesn't move. Then the thing it dives again, move it back to the coin. and you just pay the small exchanges of moving your money back and forth. Does it work that way? Like, that's what I'm trying to figure. Is it really that
to me that
easy,
just,
or
that
like
just seems
or,
like a strategy to use? That's
but
all
a
that
good
looks
one
like.
because
It's a
when
strategy.
I put it into USD, it costs way more to move it back to crypto. But crypto to crypto, like when you need to die, it's not a lot.
Dude, and here's so funny because like I when he said stable coins, that's when I clicked off. I was like, okay, I think I get the point here. But it's so funny because I didn't get to finish it, but that is exactly what I just did with my stock. I took all my profits from Halliburton, and I'm waiting for him to hit my account, and then I'm going to disperse them out into something else that always goes up. Apple, Nike, and like one or two others.
Mm-hmm.
Because like here's the thing I heard the other day that made sense to me is like, you've made no money till you pull your profits. And I'm like, that's actually true. Right. It's all theoretical until I actually take the profit. So,
yeah,
you know what I mean? So like when Uni went up today, I transferred all of whatever I made over to Ethereum. And now I'm back up to Uni again. I'm just like, okay, like.
Makes sense.
That's smart. You made no money until you actually pull it.
For me, I'm up in my Carnival Cruise venture.
Carnival Cruise,
dude.
man.
I put $50 in. I'm up 15. I'm like, I honestly kind of wish I would have put more in. It's like that's not a bad payout on $50.
That's not.
It's almost 20% off the stock, and it's like, who knew though? I would have never thrown that much at it because honestly, I'm not that confident in it. I'm just like, hey, it's working out. Go, lucky guess.
I used to have one called Royal Caribbean.
Yep.
And I wish I kept it because, like, at the beginning of 2020, dude, it's like $60 now or something.
Yeah, it crashed during the pandemic, and I was like, dude, I wish I would have just thrown a ton of money in it because you know it's coming back. Yeah. It's gonna come back. It's not gonna fail.
I was telling Devin I regret selling my Six Flags. I had like $100 in Six Flags when it was like $11 a share, and now it's like 38 or something. I'm like, dang.
I mean, honestly, dude, for a while there, Six Flags was in horrible condition, like bankruptcy and stuff like that. So it's like one of those ones.
We're young. We have time to wait that stuff out.
I mean, I guess, yeah. But it's also always a gamble of will the company go under or not.
True.
Dude, so Warren Buffett, like the world's most famous investor, went down his rabbit hole. One of the things he said is he's like, you know, because people are like, what should they do with their money? And he's like, what they should do with their money is they should pick their investments and not listen to anybody. He's like, not even listen to me. And I'm like, that's actually right, because like the more you touch it, the more it messes up. Yep. He's like, and then he's also said that like if you had a punch card, he's like, if I could give everyone a punch card with 20 decisions on it, that's all you could make for the rest of your life. He's like, you would think more about your decisions, and he's like, actually, you won't even need 20 to be successful. And I'm like, dude, that is like, that's so like it's simplified and it's so right. He's like, you know, like give me the advice. Like my advice is don't listen to my advice. And he's like, you need less than 20 decisions to be successful.
Wow. I mean, he's not wrong, I guess, because that's true. If you just stick with your investments and stuff like that, just let it ride. You haven't lost anything till it's actually crashed. So it's like, what's the worst that could happen?
And if you click every crypto and every stock, every crypto you hit all time, it's gone up. You put every stock, put it over 5 years, put it over 10 years. It has gone up immensely. And it's like, why am I worrying about the day-to-day? Like, why am I tripping? Because this is not going to be, you know,
day-to-day situation.
You think you're going to wake up with $50K in your account and be like, all right.
I think that's just it, dude. I really do think, like, in the next decent paycheck I have, I'm going to disperse, like, $200 into just random coins and just leave it.
Dude, whatever you can burn.
It's fun. It's addicting.
Whatever you can burn. Cause like, but here's the thing. We also got in during the bull run.
Yeah.
Anybody can make money right now. Like we're we're idiots playing with fire, all making money. None of us know what we're really doing. Let's be honest. But we're all making money. That shows you how good the market is right now. Come October or whatever, and we've all lost our money, we're going to be like, dang, dude, crypto was a scam.
Nah, bro, I'm holding deep. I'm just telling you, dude. Ethereum, like, we may have a crash, but I'm not worried about it. I'm going to just keep holding crypto because it's, like we've all said, like, just leave it. This is what you need to do.
Yeah,
just
I'm going to keep holding. Yeah.
Like, regardless of whether it crashes and the 600 I've put in goes down to, like, $1, I don't care, baby. I'm holding. It'll come back eventually.
Yeah. Dude.
Buy more when it goes to $1.
Yeah, I'm gonna dump down all 10 grand going in, baby. I'll move the market myself.
Why not?
If it goes down to $1,
dude, I'm putting in 10 grand and I'm just letting it ride.
You just don't look at it for like a year.
Dude, it goes up.
A millionaire.
Oh yeah, just quit. Dude, I want that money so bad just to be able to tell my company whenever they make me mad, eat it. Like, I don't care anymore. I'm out. Like, I want that kind of money. It's like, all right, go ahead, make me upset. Like, I would love to mess with the customer, get so heated. All right, sir, well, I don't want to deal with you, so I quit and just leave, get my car and drive off.
Dude, so I had this discussion with a friend earlier. If you won the lottery, hit it big, whatever, you walked into enough money to never work again, would you still work?
I would, but the beauty of having that money is you can invest your time however you see fit. Like, me and you've discussed this. It's about the freedom that money gives you. It has nothing to do with me not wanting to work or anything, but I no longer have to have that fear that's behind me of like, okay, well, if this doesn't work out, I have to constantly watch what I do, constantly have to watch what I say, because if not, I could lose my job. Like, I would love the ability to be like, I feel like having a woodworking shop for a year and doing woodworking, even if it's not profitable, it's something I want to do. It's a skill I want to learn. You can take the time to learn stuff rather than being, I've learned one thing, this is the only thing I can do now because I'm pigeonholed in and I'm scared to leave because if I do, I could lose everything.
Yeah, you can live your life.
Yeah. Like, for me, I would still work. I couldn't do not working, but at that point, I feel like I could work on passion projects. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I think even now, with passion projects, I think you could right now. But I think, of course, it's the freedom. It's like, I don't know, dude. I think I would get bored really quick. I would have to find something that is not motivation based or discipline based, like something pretty chill, because you have so much money. Like, if you had so much money, you could do anything. You would not be motivated for any career or any job that requires you to go above and beyond, because you have no reason to go above and beyond. So like, it would have to be like part-time at like a GameStop, or like, like whatever, working at like ringing people out or something. I don't know. Something chill. I'd even be a bartender, maybe. Just so I could interact with people. Just so I could interact with people, even, something. But yeah, I think like ultimately, like, doing nothing gets boring. I mean, after a week of not working, you're just like, yeah, dude. Even after this week, I was like, what do unemployed people do?
Well, that's just
this
it.
Is
like,
horrible.
If you talk to people who are retired, most people will tell you need to have something to do when you're retired. Like, no matter what, have a hobby. That's why old people will take up like golfing and stuff like that. Have a hobby. If you don't have a hobby, retirement's gonna suck for you, because you'll get bored of just sitting around all day. So you figure out something to, like, restore cars or something like that. You know what I mean? I'd find something to do. I mean, if I had that kind of money, maybe I'd go into building stupid guns, and maybe I'd be like, well, let me get a gunsmithing license. I can afford to experiment and try to build guns and see what I can do. Like, something like that, where it'd just be fun.
Yeah, I'm curious to what my hobbies will turn into.
I mean, aren't we all? I mean, there's only been one hobby that sticks with me through everything, and that's gaming. Every other hobby kind of goes in and out. Now we have D&D. I hope D&D sticks, but the end of the day, when it's something like that, you have to rely on everyone else to stick with the hobby as well.
Yeah, I mean, like I have guitar that can transform to a different instrument or just transform into producing music. I write. YouTube, which is a form of writing. It's like, I mean, all of these things could turn into something else, but it's like, I do wonder sometimes, like, where will the hobby take me? Not necessarily career-wise, but necessarily, like, yeah, what if I'm, like, am I going to be 50 playing guitar? You know what I mean? Or am I going to be, like, 35 and start skating again? Or am I going to be, like, or am I going to turn into, like, I want to do woodwork? Because it's like how you just transform as a human being. You know, like most old dudes are into fishing and golfing and hunting. You know what I mean? Like 10 years from now, are we all going to be like, you know, like talking about that boar we shot? You know?
I mean, I think it comes down to that very much thing. Like even for us now, like our hobbies now, like dude, D&D, who thought we'd all get into that again, right? Who thought that would come around? But now we have a higher understanding of that game. We understand why it's fun, what's interesting about it. We have a higher respect for it. So, like, maybe for, like, us hunting and fishing and golf, we don't understand it just because we're not at that place mentally yet to where we get it, which I feel like that's what just happens when you get older. You just kind of try it, and then you kind of start to understand a little bit more.
I mean, I know people our age that like golfing, fishing, and hunting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But they did it and they understand the reasons why it's fun. But like, how many of them would do D&D or something like that? You know what I mean? They don't understand the fun of doing it. So I think it's just one of those things that mentally you will eventually find yourself in trying something, and you have a chance when you try that thing to understand why it's great.
I think also with the hobby is like, I think a lot of it aligns with actually you have at least to be interested in it. You know, like if I have zero interest in hunting, I don't know if that'll ever change. You know what I mean? At least those people had an inkling of it, or their parents did it, or their daddy did it, and their daddy always hunted. Their daddy always fished. Their dad always fished and golf. So it's like, I want to be, you know, I want to do that, or I guess. But like, you know, like, I don't know. Like, I think it's like there's some of that. Those people probably wouldn't play D&D. So I'm like, maybe we won't ever hunt. Maybe we won't ever fish. I don't know. You know, but yeah, I can do music. Yeah, when I'm 60, you can be 60 years old still playing guitar, but you can also be 60 years old and still be hunting. There's not really a barrier, but every hobby is just about, have you made progress is what makes it fun. Can you do it without thinking about it? That's what makes it fun.
Yeah. I mean, I was actually thinking about skating today. I was watching some Ross videos, and they were skating on 2x4s with like trucks screwed to the bottom. And a guy, he did, I don't think it was a tray flip, but it was the one that's like right below that.
360 shove it?
No, what's
dude? I watched
flip? Varial.
He did a varial flip, yeah.
Dude, I watched.
He landed it on like a 2x4. It's cool.
I watched a video of a cop in full gear, like full uniform and everything, fakey tray.
That's dope.
And it was clean too. Like it wasn't beautiful, but I was like, to be doing that with your bulletproof vest on, your tactical belt and everything like that, and land it and like right away like nothing happened. I'm like, yeah, that's the guy I don't want to ever get pulled over by.
There is something about do a fakey tray or going to jail.
No, I imagine him like riding the skateboard and strapping the cherry on top of it, and it's just going.
Oh my gosh.
You like take a sharp turn, he decides to tray flip down the stair, lands it, and is still chasing you.
Oh my, chasing you on a skateboard. Dude. There is something about understanding the hobby more. That's what I forgot. I'm way better at guitar than I was as a teenager. I'm like, whatever teenager me was trying to play guitar was an idiot. Like, you understood nothing. Like, now, I'm like, just by understanding a few more fundamentals, I'm like, way better. By no means could I play, no means a virtuoso. Like, I'm just like, compared to my teenage self, I'm like, bro, you suck bad. Like, so there is something like, it takes me understanding a lot more. Now I know what to understand. I know to find the fundamentals, find A and find B, and build that RPG branch to unlock point C. Like, so now it just comes to me so much easier.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I think that's anything. Like, there's, like, even me for games, there's some games, like, I played through it, and then I play through it a second time, and I have a better understanding of what I'm doing that second time around.
Well, there's a second time around, but also when you pick up any game, you're like, oh, this is like this game and this game. I just got a blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is like this game and this game. I just got a da-da-da. And you're going to pick up a lot quicker than other people.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I just feel like that's with any hobby, though. It just takes time. And, you know, as you get older, you learn a different respect for it. Like, just with, like, your guitar playing, like you said, you better understand your fundamentals now just because you're older and you can relate it to other things. So it's unlocked that path for you.
Yeah. Dude. So speaking of guitar, so, like, dude, I don't know if you'll end up searching the video, but so this guy, his uncle died, okay? And his uncle loved, I guess, metal music. I can't remember exactly, but music to some degree, music. And you can get people's bones. I did not know this. He got his uncle's skeleton. Okay, and then like, and you can even look it up. Like, the guy has an Instagram and everything. The journey of him turning his uncle's skeleton into a guitar. And, like, you know, there's all sorts of crazy comments. Like, some are making fun of it. You know, some are, like, you know, really taking the piss out of it. But it's like, it's just, like, weird. And, like, the reaction is, like, this is his form of grieving in a way. You know what I mean? Like, he installed pickups, volume, a jack, strings. And he, like, literally, he has a video of him holding his uncle's skeleton, digging in his ribcage to plug the strings, and, like, you know, playing some notes. And it's like, you know, and he's like, you know, my uncle living on forever, you know, and it's like, you don't know what to say, because you're like, that's really uncomfortable for me, but you're like, to him, that's like, he's like, I did the best thing ever. And it's like, how do you approach that?
I mean, the way I look at it is like, dude, is it weird? Yeah, it's weird to me, but who cares? If that's what makes you happy, do it. Who cares? You're not hurting anyone by turning your uncle into a skeleton. It's not like he's mad at you. He's not around anymore. Doesn't matter. If it makes you happy and it helps you through the grieving process, do it. Like, if that's something that you find, like, cherishing and you care about, do it. That's none of my business what my opinion is on it. You know what I mean? Like, if that's what makes you happy, that's your thing. That's not mine. Doesn't matter if it makes me happy. Doesn't matter if I think it's morbid or not.
Yeah, to each their own. But, you know, people can't be going around defiling corpses and stuff.
I mean, that's just it, though. Is it defiling a corpse? If, like, I mean, what's it matter if you defile a corpse or not, right? I mean, at the end of the day.
Okay, well, defiling.
Like, hold on. Hear me out, dude. Because the way I look at it is, dude, it does not matter.
The word itself implies, defiling is like against will and like to dig it up.
They're dead. What do you mean against their will? What does it matter? They're dead. They can't have an opinion on it.
Okay, I know. I mean, I shouldn't use against their will. You can't. It would be wrong to grave rob. Okay, defiling implies that. That's like burglarizing a body.
Okay, if we didn't grave rob back in the day, we wouldn't be where we're at in science. You know, drastic things call for drastic measures. Okay, my thing is, you're dead. It doesn't matter. Like, this guy got possession of the corpse, clearly legally, or he would have been taken down. So what does it matter? You know what I mean? Like, same thing with my corpse. If y'all want to do a prank and throw me off a bridge, like throw my husk off a bridge, I don't care. Do it. I'm dead. It's not like I need that anymore.
We have that on recording forever. But so if we do it, we can't get in trouble. But like, defiling would be like implying like, you know, digging it up and messing with the body. He had the rights to somehow get the skeleton, like you said, but he's not. Nothing's getting pushed forward by the effect of him doing this. But then now I wonder, maybe he is pushing something forward. What else are we going to get turned into? You know, is my head going to be on a lava lamp? You know, I don't know. Like, yeah, I'm dead. I won't know. And I guess it doesn't matter, but.
Exactly. You're dead. What does it matter what happens with your corpse? Like, it doesn't matter. It's a husk of what you used to be. It's no longer you. You know what I mean? Like, it's empty.
It's a difference of, like, yeah, what happens if I'm dead? Like, yeah, you could cremate me, whatever. You could turn me into a vinyl record, whatever. But my actual skeleton, turning it into a musical instrument. Like, I want to know his family's reaction. Because that's someone's brother and that's someone's son.
Something tells me that this dude's uncle and this kid getting his skeleton doesn't strike me as it's an extremely close family that cares about that.
Right. He's probably not. He's probably already not showing up. Yeah, he's not getting invited to Thanksgiving or Christmas, right? He's already like,
or his family was full force supporting it. Like, do it. It's what he would have wanted.
He's always got a plus one.
Like, maybe they're like, you can only come to Thanksgiving if you bring the guitar.
Oh my God.
I mean, dude, just context
maybe
clues strike me as it's not a big deal.
It's like your uncle screaming down from heaven.
Well, it depends if you believe in the Catholic
Can your uncle
religion.
stop screaming smoke on the water?
Yeah. Wow, that's still. I'd still find that hilarious to anyone that's playing guitar.
Smoke on the water.
Because you know they hate it.
I'll never learn how to play it.
You did it for a specific reason. I'm sure you can pick it up very, very quick.
Oh yeah, I still refuse to learn it. I'm like, it's like a meme song. I'm like, refuse it. Wonderwall, don't know how to play it. Don't ask me. Won't learn it.
Hey, smoke on the water was the only thing I ever learned, man. Example A.
I mean, it sounds about right. Hey, at least you can play guitar.
No, cannot.
Hey, you can play Smoke on the Water. That's more than I can say for my lifetime.
Couldn't do it today.
I mean, bro, you give me like a recorder and how to play Hot Cross Buns, bro. I got you. I'll go ham.
Hot Cross Buns.
Dude, everybody knew that. Went hard.
Yeah. They need to do a trap remix for like the current students. Like learn how to play the trap mix of Hot Cross Buns.
They got them in
and they'd be
there
going
on the
off the
computer
club.
up there mixing.
Dude. They should. Oh my gosh, I just thought about that. Like kids today should learn how to mix on computers because like that is so crazy. Like, all right, here's your recorder. Here's how you record it and upload it into Logic Pro and make it sound like a banger. You know, like, all right, kids, we're gonna have the hi-hats in. All right, kids, we're gonna do the. All right, kids, today we're gonna build a drop. You know, like there needs to be that.
Hey, I'm gonna need more cowbell.
I'm gonna need more.
All right, kids, today we're gonna learn how to sample vocals and make a sick chill step track. Like all of this.
All right, bro. This is only lo-fi music at the moment, okay? This is lo-fi week.
Dude, yes. Yeah, here's how you make the really high quality sound like it was recorded on an FM radio 20 years ago. You know?
Dude, what's funny is I bet that's eventually something that it develops into, you know what I mean? Like music classes, we learn the greats, we learn the classics. Like I'm sure it'll eventually happen.
It's all gonna get remixed.
Yeah.
Today I was listening to 90s. It was like a mix on YouTube. It was 90s hip hop, but lo-fi backtracks. It was pretty good.
Or like it'll be like West Coast gangsta music, but lo-fi, and you're like, it's really good.
Yeah, it is. Strangely, yeah.
I don't know. Y'all are more into music than I am. Not the music type.
Man, I found
you would probably like. Good.
That old song by Son Holo, the Smoke Weed Every Day one. Oh,
really?
Rise.
Oh, I forgot about
the
that
one. The one you showed us like way back when, and there's like kind of like that kung fu type style drop. Oh, that's how it sounded like to me.
I know.
Dude, well, like, what I was gonna say, Clayton, you probably like it's like podcast, but it's lo-fi.
That's just it, though. Like, it's one
remix
of
of Russ Martin.
It's bro, Russ Martin, dude. I'd look forward to that at the end of my shift, bro. You have no idea. Because it was a podcast mix of people just hanging out, but it was live radio. I loved that, dude. End of the workday, the music starts playing. We're like, all right, we're getting off in 30 minutes, and Russ is starting. Let's do this.
Russ is starting.
Dude, because you go through like what 92.1 the whole day because they play the songs on repeat. So after a month, you know them by heart, and you're like, dude, I don't like this music anymore.
Yeah, you like it for about a month.
Yeah, and then after that, it comes on, and then there's only certain ones you react to, and you just do stupid shit when it comes on.
Dude, well, like, it is weird, like, that selective hearing you gain once you hear the same song over and over, like so often when I was working at Starbucks, I would just be working or just in the zone, and somebody would be like, oh, my God, I'm so sick of this song. And then I'm like, why did you say that? Now I can hear it. I heard no music all day. Music is playing all day. Wouldn't hear it until someone snaps you out of it. And they're like, man, I hate this song. And you're like, stop. No.
Oh, dude, I love telling customers that because then they always apologize. They're like, the music you'll play is horrible. It's like, honestly, I didn't even know it was on until you said something. We don't notice till you say something. And then they're like, oh, my God, I'm so sorry. And it's like, you should be. You've ruined my workday for like the next hour until my body readapts again. It's like telling people you're breathing manually now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why did you have to do it?
Yeah, I breathing manually.
Yeah, dude, just think about it, Quentin. Breathe. You are breathing manually. If you don't remember to breathe, you will not breathe.
That's weird.
Yeah, because now you're thinking about it.
Yeah, now I'm thinking about the breath taking.
Yep. Oh,
and then you have to think about the moment. You have to think about the moment of when you can stop thinking about it until you let it go, and then it starts doing it by itself again. It's so your whole body does stuff without you telling it. It's so weird, Like your tongue sits in the right spot until you really start thinking about it, and you're like, this isn't really comfortable in my mouth. Is it?
Let's stop doing this. All right, it's starting to mess with me a little bit, man. I've got an ulcer under my tongue right now, and you saying that just made it worse. Oh. But nah, I mean, I don't know, dude. I just podcast music. I only care about podcasts and audiobooks. I don't listen to music at all. I don't understand what the disconnect is for me. Why I don't find music interesting. Why I don't care to listen to it at all.
To me,
it's like... Are you looking for something? Good.
Yeah. Oh, I was just going to say, to me, it's like an emotional connection, kind of. Whatever your mood is, you seek out, or at least for me, like I have different music depending on the mood or what kind of mood I'm trying to get into or what I'm trying to relate to at the moment, either happy, sad, whatever, celebratory, whatever it may be. I don't know. Or sometimes it's just nostalgic. Like growing up because my mom's extreme, like she loves music. I would say she's passionate about music, but doesn't play it, but she listens to it 24/7. So now there's music, like there's songs that I hear that bring me nostalgia, which is like, I would say almost all humans love nostalgia. It's just a good feeling.
I mean, I agree with you on that, but I guess I just don't have that connection to music for me. Like, I mean, music-wise, I don't get nostalgia on music. Like, I get nostalgia thinking about the things that we did together. I don't have music that does that for me personally. So for me, it's more just like a mental thing of like D&D. Eventually, I'll look back on the dice if we ever quit playing, and I'll remember what it was like. Same thing for like the Magic cards. Like I keep my Magic cards. It's sentimental. It brings me nostalgia. That's it. Like I have them. They don't really matter, but they're nostalgic. But I don't know. I guess music just does not connect to me in that way. I don't know if it's just mainly because, like, I guess as a kid, all we listened to was country, so I just stopped caring about music altogether. It just stopped resonating with me.
Well, I'm very used to listening to Cruella.
I mean, even then, dude, I don't even really listen to them much anymore. Like, they put out, like, I think, like, 2 new albums. I still haven't listened to them. Like, I've listened to 1 or 2 songs from it, but I don't know, I don't have that nostalgia anymore. Like, I just don't.
Well, also, it doesn't have to be nostalgia. It could be an emotional connection or something that it's relatable, or it could just be a good beat. Lo-fi has proven that. I mean, there's still like vague emotion or relatable, like it's trying to paint like a vague picture, but it's kind of like lo-fi is like, here's just like a beat that's sending you down like a general path. You paint your own movie and picture. But then lyrical music is like, here's this movie and picture, you can relate to it on your own terms. But it's already set.
I don't know. I just don't know how to describe it. It just like, I get what you're saying. Like, I can listen to music and be like, oh, this is a decent song. I understand it. But I don't know. I don't have interest to go back and listen to it again. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, that's what's weird to me. Like, y'all listen to music and y'all find new music, or y'all listen to your older music that you find and you enjoy doing that. For me, I guess I just don't understand for me why that connection is not there. Granted, I've never sought out to try to make a connection for it, but it seems like one of those things that happens naturally for everyone else. But for me, it just, I could care less.
Not everyone.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, there's got to be people like you. Yeah, seeking a connection, you won't make one. Like, trying to force one, you won't make it. But for most people that, do love music, or like, it's nostalgic for them, I think whenever I hear a song, I know there's a lot of people, you think about the first time you heard that song. There are certain songs that even now, when I still hear them, I think about the very first time I heard them, what I was doing. I think about when my uncle really got me into rap music. I think about that time. That's how I really got into rap music, with my uncle. And then like, I think about certain songs of like, man, that was me and my dad riding in the truck. And then certain songs, I'm like, dude, that was like, oh my gosh, I remember we were skating in the garage. And then I think about that time every time I hear that song or whatever. But yeah, or like, like you said, like an emotional state. Like, I got to listen to like certain type of music. Rap usually makes people feel awesome, makes them feel like giants, whereas they listen to it while they work out. Some people, they listen to like heavy metal while they work out because that makes them feel awesome. It's like, it is a connection. Or even some people, it's movies. Some people will rewatch a certain movie every few years because they think about the first time they watched that movie. Like, man, the first time I watched that movie was with my very first girlfriend. So the movie hits different for me. Or like the first time I watched this movie, Me and the Guys. This was so funny in junior high. And it's not as funny anymore, but I still remember when it was.
I'm still mad at you because you won't watch my favorite movie, Devin.
I will.
You are never going to watch it. And I bet you Quentin's never seen it either.
What?
Okay, hold on. First, what's your favorite movie, Quentin?
I don't know.
All right, Devin, we know yours.
What's your
Fight
favorite
Club.
movie? Come on.
I'm going to go with Back to the Future.
Okay.
Back to the Future? Like, favorite movie of all time, if you had to pick one?
I watched that a lot. I don't know.
I could see Back to the Future, too. Like, I could see that for you.
I could see it.
It'd be a couple movies, because, like, that would be, like a actual story, but then, like, comedy, like, would be Hot Rod. That's, like, a childhood comedy right there.
Yeah, those ones are pretty good, yeah.
It's like if there was one overall, you would say Back to the Future. It's your favorite. It doesn't have to. Don't think about like what's the best cinematic masterpiece. It's like what is genuinely your favorite?
Yeah. If it was on, would you watch it?
Oh yeah, I'd watch both of those if they were on.
Okay.
So I mean, I guess you'd say Back to the Future.
So
I watch that a lot.
Devin's is obviously Fight Club. We don't even need to ask that question. And then for me, it's Black Hawk Down.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Dude, it is. I love that movie, and it makes me so mad that neither one of y'all have seen it. Okay? I need this out of our friendship, and Devin refuses to do it. It's like Devin just doesn't want to be friends with me.
I'll watch
it eventually. I'm just not big on watching stuff. Like, dude, I had to, in the ice, I had to make myself watch something because, like, I was so bored, running out of stuff to do. I watched an episode of Rick and Morty, triggered this whole this whole essay inside my head. I'm like, It's like, it was about like controlling your death and like, you know, why you shouldn't be in charge of your destiny. And I'm like, am I grasping at straws, or is there really something here I should write down?
I do.
But the point.
My favorite thing that you pointed out about like your favorite movies and why they're your favorite, and I don't know if you told Quentin this yet or not. Go ahead, say your reason, Devin.
Well, yeah, and it's not necessarily my reason specifically. I heard it and it was amazing and it made so much sense. Your favorite movie, is that because you think you're the main character? And you relate to it so much. Yeah, Fight Club, I was like, yeah, because when I watched that movie, like the first 30 minutes, like, this is me, this is me, this is me, this is me, it's also me, this is me. And I was like that's how you fall in love with it, you know? And so it's like, and it ruins it forever now. Because like now, because then you start manipulating your answer because to be a cooler movie. But yeah, just think like, what's your favorite movie? You know, like don't think about the coolest movie. What's your actual favorite? I'm like, yeah. So when you said Back to the Future, I'm like, that actually makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
It really, yeah. Because as a kid, that's all dude. The idea of time travel as a kid, I was just obsessed with it. Like a young kid, like 7 to 12. Like that was just like, I don't know, just obsessed with it.
It's okay. Victoria's thought process on why I like Black Hawk Down so much is because I believe all my leaders are idiots. That's her theory, and I'm like, honestly, I'm mad that you pointed it out, but it's true because that's truly how I feel.
That makes sense about Hot Rod too, because it's just like a group of friends being idiots. Like that's dang.
Yeah.
The only one that doesn't make sense the only one that don't make sense is like I was trying to think of a serious, because Back to the Future is like a family, and then Howard's like comedy, but like a serious, like a drama. I'd probably say The Butterfly Effect with Ashton Kutcher. I watched that at least 3 or 4 times, and I just discovered it about 2 years ago. I don't know why. Y'all should definitely watch it. I think it's great.
I know enough about the movie. I've never seen it. Isn't that the one where like he goes back? Doesn't he do something to stop like a bully or something in high school at one point in the movie, and it ends up creating this huge ripple as well?
You just have to watch it, bro.
I know there's a lot that goes on. I've heard it's a lot.
Yeah, it's extremely good. Don't ever watch the second one; it's trash. But first one's really good. Yeah,
as all really good movies go.
Yeah, I mean, it actually makes sense, or some more sense at the end than like, because it's a very weird, it's like sci-fi type movie. It made more sense than like Donnie Darko. And I watched Donnie Darko like 5 times, and I was like, what is this? I kept trying to figure it out. I was like,
I did not like it. It just seemed like it was a movie that was reaching too much. It was like, I know some people love it, but it's like, for me, it reaches on so many themes that it like tries to make it seem like, oh no, this is there for this reason. It's such a complex movie. When in actuality, I'm like, it just seems like they were trying to make a complex movie. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at Inception, it's a complex movie, but it's super good. But the reason why it's so complex is, like, there's little subtle nudges to you. And then at the very end of Inception, it ends with him spinning the top, but you don't get to see what happens. So you're left with this massive question of, is he still in the dream? Or did he finally get out?
Butterfly Effect is, like, it's not really complicated. It's pretty simple. It's just the idea of like what Devin was talking about earlier. Should we have the power to choose our own destiny? And that's kind of what it's about, I would guess. Because it's not just one scenario. There's like 5 or 6 scenarios that he gets the chance to take different angles at. And it's pretty interesting.
Makes sense. I mean,
and the weird thing of like it's the whole you're the main character thing is like it's why you enjoy it, because of what makes it relatable. Because that's art.
Yeah.
Because I remember our the one semester I was in college, English class I took, he was like, "Why is music good?" And everybody had all these answers, like, "Why do you like music?" Right? I was the only one who got it right. I was like, because it's relatable. And he's like, "There you go. That's what it is." And like, that's exactly right. Like, that's why like you like your certain music, because it's relatable. Relatable in the sense of like, I've heard all this collection of music. I like this music because it sounds like these influences, or what this person's saying in this song sounds like my life. That's all that is. That's like, so these arguments about like who's better is like, it's really hard to complete the argument because it's like you lived a different life. Yeah, you lived a different life. That's why you like this person more, whatever the case may be, or what you think is better is based off the other thousands of hours of music that you listen to that I didn't listen to. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like some of the bands I like now is like because they're influenced by other stuff that I like. They listen to the same people that I listened to growing up, or you know, whatever the case may be. So with movies, like a movie to a cinephile is so different than a movie to like an average person. You know what I mean? Like, what does that look like to them? What does that look like?
I mean, yeah, like I remember growing up, you never liked, like when we'd watch a stupid movie, you would kind of zone out, or you would like go skate, or you would like start doing something like it's Thanksgiving, or the rubber tire that would like blow people up with its psychic power. They're like, I don't know, but like for some reason, I love that. I can sit there and watch dumb stuff like that.
Well, that's your leisure of like, yeah, we should watch it. The thing that bothered me when I was younger, and I don't know, maybe it bothers me now, but I was like, I want to be doing something. I want to be doing something. Like, I always want to be doing something. I want to be skating. I want to be working on the computer, working on Pivot, working on Photoshop. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to commit. You were going to sit in place for 2 hours and stare at the screen. I'm like, I don't like that. It's something about it, dude. It's just like, and even though we're all hanging out, it's like, oh, I don't like that. But like when I would do it, I would enjoy it. Like when we first saw The Hangover, I enjoyed it. You know what I mean? Like,
I remember that. You know, that was a good day.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like that was fun, you know, but like something of, even now it's like if I do watch something, it's a documentary, you know? Yeah. And, you know, like the other day I did watch Rick and Morty, but it was like 2 or 3 episodes. And like, it was just me in documentary mode. I'm like, what's the big picture here? What are they really trying to get across?
The dissecting.
You know, they're not trying to get anything across. Like, what can I extract from this?
I don't know. Maybe for what music is to me, that's what movies and TV shows are to you. You know what I mean?
That could be. Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, you're just not into it. You don't really know why. You're just not. Like, you can enjoy it, but it's not something you want to throw time at.
Yeah, 100%. See, I throw time at it. I watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine twice in the last 6 months, all the way through. Yeah, that's terrible.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine's actually, I like Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I love
that stupid Nine-Nine. Humor that I kind of like. It's like a relaxed humor.
It's very stupid, and there's also, I feel like there's a couple different styles. Each character kind of has their own. Captain Holt's my favorite, though.
Yep, I can see that. I don't know, bro. I mean, that's like me enjoying The Office. Like, The Office is just
great.
It's just funny on so many different levels. And dude, I love pointing out to people, like, you don't understand the reason why you rewatch The Office is the jokes that you missed, that you didn't know you missed. Every time you watch it, there's more jokes that you don't, like, you didn't realize subtleties, you missed.
Yeah. Yep.
It's so funny because like I can't do that with shows. Music, yep. I will listen if a new album that comes out that's good. I'll listen to it 30 times. And each time I catch a different bar, I catch a different ad lib I didn't hear. I catch a different freaking double entendre that I'm like, you know, oh my God, how did I not catch that first time? I feel so dumb. And like, there's even music I hear 8 years later that I'm like, I didn't even get that was the punchline until now. Like, so like to me, that's music. And it's like, oh my God, how did I not hear that? Bro, so it's crazy. Wait. Yeah, with movies, I'm like, why do I need to watch this again?
Second question. Hold on. When you listen to music, are you doing other things?
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I think it's maybe that you can listen to music. You can feel like you're not wasting your time just listening to music because you're doing and completing other tasks, whereas like a movie, a TV show, you can, but if you want to actually like understand it, you can't.
Yeah, you have to stare at it. Yeah, with the music, I can clean, drive most of the time, work out, whatever. Literally anything. Yeah, I can fold laundry. I can do anything. I'm listening to music because, and also, I'm not thinking about it so hard. I'm just letting it be what it is, and then I'm just like, oh my gosh, what the heck? Yeah, with a movie, you're just like, I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna eat my snacks. And I'm gonna stare. And I'm gonna stare. Okay, I'm done staring. Next scene. I don't know. You know?
So badly, dude. I am rooting for y'all, one of y'all, to watch Black Hawk Down, because I have to know if it's an actual, like, I know based off the awards that it's won that it was a decent movie, but I need to know if it's just me that likes it out of the group. I have to know.
Where can I watch it?
Dude, I have no idea what it's on right now. I think it might be on Amazon, maybe. Give me a second.
Okay, I got
look
Amazon.
it up.
Probably find it anywhere.
Give me a second and I'll look it up and figure out where it's
Black
streaming.
Hawk Down.
But, I mean, who knows?
And
that's the other thing, too, is like, if we don't like it, it's just because we don't relate to it. That's all.
I just need to know. Like,
see, there's some movies I can't even relate to, and I like.
Oh, it's on Hulu if you have premium.
Oh yeah, I got Hulu.
Do you have premium?
I have no idea. There's no commercials.
Yeah, that's probably premium then. Yeah, you should be able to watch it then.
So what do you mean, like you even with the movie?
What do you mean?
Huh?
You could not relate to it and like it.
Are you talking? Well, I mean, there's movies that I don't relate to and I like. Like I had started thinking of, I think it's called, not LA's Fine. It was the movie with Jake Gyllenhaal.
End of Watch.
End of Watch. I can't relate to that at all, dude. I'm not a cop in LA fighting gang leaders and stuff, but I think it's a great movie. Like,
I don't know. I feel
so
like I can see the reasons why you relate to it a little bit, though. Like, I can see that why there's a reason. It's just two buddies hanging out. They're doing dumb stuff as cops. Like, there's a lot of stuff. Like, they literally get in trouble for freeing those people from a home because it was in a bigger investigation. Like, I can see certain aspects to that movie as why you watch it. Because it's relatable. Like, how close you are with your friends and stuff like that. I can see a little bit of why you relate, but I understand why. Like, dude, it's like Black Hawk Down. Like, dude, I was never in the military. I'm never going to be in a situation like that. Like, if we go based off that, then yeah, I don't relate at all. But there's a deeper reason as to why you relate a little bit to it.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So I can see
like I'm never gonna start an underground fight ring and blow up my own apartment.
Wait, are
you know what I mean? But like,
let's not write anything off.
I mean, fair enough. But yeah, like it's you don't take it too literal, but you at least relate to the fact that you agree it's a good piece of cinema. That's the difference. Like, so with me as music, I can be like, you know what, I don't like that song, but structurally they did it right. You know what I mean? So like you is with me, like, I didn't really care for it, but it was a decent. It had its beginning. The characters changed. It had it. You know what I mean? I respect it for what it is. Mm-hmm. So that's like a relatable piece. That is a relatability thing of like, you know, it is what it is.
I hate so much now that I'm
calling it a spade.
I just hate now that I'm older, and that saying really does just make sense to me. Because I hated it when I was younger. It is what it is. It's like, dude, I hated it when I was younger. Now that I'm older, I'm like, I get it. I understand that it's literally, that's what the situation is. Ain't nothing you can do about it, so deal with it.
It what it is.
The Eastern philosophy, understand it, you know what I mean? Like, let go, let it be what it is, you know, wu wei. You know, like the art of doing something by doing nothing. You know, like, oh, okay. Maybe all these old guys were onto something hip we didn't know.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's just weird that's like, it makes sense to me. Like, I forget when I was talking to you about it, Quentin, when we were talking about like common phrases and stuff like that and sayings and stuff, and you're like, oh, that makes so much sense. And I remember explaining to you like the reason why they make so much sense, and the reason why they make sense to you is because you need it in that moment. Like, you can give anyone any of these phrases, they're gonna only pick one, and it's gonna be because it relates and it makes sense to them.
I don't quite remember what
this was like 4 or 5 years ago whenever we brought up the phrase of like, you can bring the horse to water but you can't make it drink. Like, the idea of like, there's so many phrases out there that it only makes sense when you're in that situation.
I see what you're saying.
And that's like the whole thing about like when people share quotes, it's like that quote only matters after you've been through it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there hasn't been like okay, I learned that. That's in the back of my brain. I'll never do that. it's like you have to do it, and then like because some phrases or quotes make no sense, and then you go through it, and then you're like, that guy knew what he was saying, but you already went through it, so what was the whole point of it anyway?
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, it only makes sense when people are like, oh man, this quote, this is so good, and people are like, it's cool, or whatever, but it's like that person likes it because they went through it and they know exactly what they're talking about, and when it hits you, it hits you, and you're like, dang it.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
Well, I mean, it's like when it comes to like someone going through their first heartbreak or whatever. Like if you've already been through it, you're gonna give them all the advice you can. They're not gonna take it because they're not in that place yet.
You can't teach anybody anything.
Mm-hmm.
You have everything has to be their own idea. It has to be their own experience to a great degree. Because you can tell somebody exactly what needs to get done, but they have to do it for themselves. That's the problem. Like it is so much. Like, it has to be their idea, or they have to go through it. They have to learn the hard. Everybody learns the hard way. Mm-hmm. Everybody learns the hard way.
I mean, it makes sense though. That's just the way that we are. I mean, anything you do, you have to do for the right reasons. Like it has to make sense to you to do it. Because, like, the same thing, I can place any one of y'all in front of, like, OBS and stuff like that and tell you to figure it out. If you don't care to figure it out, you're not going to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It took me a little bit to figure it out, but I pushed myself to figure it out because I wanted to figure it out. I guess it's like learning any sort of skill.
Dude, I mean, 100%.
I don't know. I always think about stuff like that of why we're built that way, of why certain people adhere to certain things and think about certain things and push themselves to do it, and why everyone's so different in the aspects of what pushes them and drives them. Because, like, if you think about it, nobody's driven by the same thing.
Well, it's because, like, growing up, you're shaped by everything around you, right? And we're all around different things. Well, there's certain archetypes and there's certain patterns. That why can change for so much. It's like you can't impose your why onto others, really, And if you're preaching about your why, like this is what got me out of the hole, this is what motivated me, it will relate to those that it relates to, right? That went through similar things, or they can see the similarities across, whatever makes it relatable. Same thing with art, but that why, there has to be an end goal that's valuable to them. Mm-hmm. If the end goal is not valuable to that person, then you're wasting your time. Or if there's also not like any recognition tied to it that's worth it to that person. Like if, they're going to get recognition, but it's from people they don't care about, it doesn't matter. If they're going to get recognition from their group, or they're a group of important people,
mm-hmm.
But sure, they'll figure it out.
Yeah. I don't know. That's what just always kind of blows my mind about stuff. Like, I don't know. I just, it's weird to think that, like, recognition only matters from the people you care about. Which, I mean, it makes sense. Like, if you don't care about it, it doesn't mean anything.
I mean, I would care more about recognition from you guys than some stupid customer.
Just know, Quentin, you'll never get my recognition.
They're gonna be like my funeral, and Wagner's gonna walk up to the open casket and like spit in my face and give me the finger.
Sorry, guys, I was just making sure he was actually dead.
That's his form of recognition, so you didn't lose.
I just won't show up.
But like,
there'll be another, right?
There'll be another. But like. Yeah, I mean, like, it has to tie to that, and then also, like, the recognition of the group. So, like, if you, whatever it is you're doing, if you're doing MMA, you want to get recognized. How much? Okay, you're in. Y'all are back at y'all's fighting gym. Okay, y'all's whatever you want to call it, your dojo, whatever you want to call it. For y'all to get recognition from the main teacher means a lot. So y'all get recognition from the most, like the hardest fighter in there that everybody's scared to spar with. If he gave y'all props, y'all are going home feeling like $1 million and like on fire. Like, dude, I killed it today.
Yeah, I would say that.
You know what I mean? To get recognition, your parents are watching you and they're like, hey, great job rolling. And you're like, you have no idea what I just did. Thank you. I love you too, but it's different. You know what I mean? Like, but if y'all got props from the hardest dude in there, y'all are like, the rest of the week, y'all are like posting up to everyone.
Oh no, I loved it because like when me and Quentin would spar, it was always like, yeah, we're not sparring at 40 or 50%. We're like, all right, we're throwing 90s out here, bro.
We're going
like,
ham, dude.
We're getting after it. We like. I feel like that, like, dude, there was multiple times in which me and Quentin are like, all right, we're not blocking anymore. All right, it's just about doing damage.
No, we went ham, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You'd piss me off some of the times.
Oh, bro, I remember. I didn't realize, like, that I was getting good shots on certain people because I remember sparring with old Ben. And he told me I rocked him one time because I just caught him right. And I was like, dude, I had no idea. I was like, I did not know. I was like, I did not know I hit you that hard. And he was like, yeah, you rocked me. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay.
How did that feel, though, to be like, I rocked you?
For me, it's like, it was one of those things of like, personally, I was like, it's cool to know I have that power. But I was more like, dude, I am so sorry. I had no idea, dude. I wasn't trying to do that to you. I was literally just trying to have a good time and see what we can do. But now me and Quentin came in. We were like, dude, someone's leaving in a body bag. All right, we're going hard at this.
Dude, we did go hard. I saw a video today of Trent shattering his leg or whatever. Like he.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was like, I was like, dude, are y'all in someone's living room? Like there's like a mantle and a fireplace, and like they should have boxing gloves on. I'm like, what? But yeah, dude, he just like he. Okay.
No, yeah, finish, yeah.
Oh, dude, Trent just like throws that kick, and Dave's just casually just like puts his leg up to check it, and then Trent's leg just like he's like, oh, like he walks off immediately, and Dave's just he looks so casual.
Well, dude, that's
so like.
That's the weird thing about
like
fighting.
Like that's like what y'all said. Like, so when it's y'all, you're going all out, dude. Think about when me and Chase and all of us were skating. If it's me and Chase playing a game of skate, we both know what's up. Neither of us are holding back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we know what it is. But with y'all, okay, we'll do like every shove it possible first, and then we'll try. You know what I mean? Like we'll like kind of try to drag this thing out. Like if it's like me and Chase, like, all right, you know what it is. So it's like there is that. It's that fun part of the ego that's like, all right, I know we're bros, but I want to test your limits and see how far this can go. Because it's something that's that motivation, that's that why of like this is drive, you know, this is fun. We both know we respect each other, but I want to see how far you can go.
Well, dude,
because I want you to push me.
That's what was always funny, like how I talked about last week, how me and Quentin would always push each other when we're working out, because neither one of us is gonna lose. All right, we're going hard. I felt like it was that same thing with like boxing each other. For me, I'm like, all right, I can't let Quentin show me up. I have, because like I had asserted my dominance as the fighter in the group, and I was like, I can't lose that title, because if I do, why would they hang out with me? You know, dumb kid thoughts. And Quentin's like, well, I got to keep up with him, because then that acknowledges to me that I'm tough. So it's like, all right, bro, now we're just both going ham. There would always be that one shot that we threw that was always too hard, and it's like, all right, I guess we're playing like that now.
Yep.
Because I always remember Quentin would get so close to me, and eventually I would like, all right, I'm going to just throw him against the cage, and I would just shove him back against the cage of like, all right, now I feel better.
And it is funny, you know, like it's funny. It's like y'all know, like that's what you're doing at that time. You know, after it's all cool, it's fun, we talk about it, you know, whatever. You know, it is crazy that one time, how you step into that role.
I almost killed us. And I don't know if it was because I sparred with Clayton, but
we worked out super hard, and you ran that red light.
Dude, I was out of it. Like I was like, I just guess I got rocked really hard that day, and I was just sitting there, and like it was just straight red light, and I just kept going, and I didn't even notice. And Clayton was next to me, shooting the seat up and down. He's like, "Gangsta lean, gangsta lean."
No, that was in the morning, sir. That was in the morning.
I thought because you popped up and you were like, I think that was a red light, dude.
That actually, yeah, you might be right on that. I remember that because you just straight ran it. I
was like, what?
It's like, no cops, no foul, right? We didn't get hurt.
Dude, sometimes when I left there, my head was hazy. Like, I was like, because Bert, looking back, he's a good coach, but like, he does not care about our safety. Like, if I was coaching 14, 15-year-old kids, I'd be like, put on headgear. All he did is like, put in a mouthpiece, you're good to go, knock the crap out of each other.
I mean, okay, let's be honest though. They did tell us you shouldn't be sparring as hard as you fight, and both me and you were like,
You weren't the only one there that did that though. Sabrina would throw hands.
Oh,
Heather
yeah.
would throw hands. Well, Chad would throw hands.
Okay, Chad would throw hands because with Chad, if you caught him with a good shot, he would get mad.
He would get mad. That's my point, though. As the owner of this institution, you should be able to recognize, like, maybe I should make these amateur trainees wear headgear.
Because I remember that about Chad. Because there would be times in which, like, V would have two of us box Chad so Chad could work on his foot movement. And what would end up happening, and I would always catch him with like one or two good shots, and then after that, he would use the other person to block me so I couldn't get in. And then every time he came out, he'd throw something at me because I'd hit him good.
He put me and you against Chad one time.
Yeah, and he did the same thing because I would catch Chad with one good shot, and then he'd put you and just work you in front. He's like, I can handle Q hitting me. Every so often, though, Clayton catches me with a punch I'm not seeing coming.
We're so short. Chad's like 6'3".
Oh, yeah. Well, I think that was also part of it is V wanted him to work on being able to use his reach when he had it and also be able to use the cage. Like, I never thought that was like, oh, let's work on their hands. That was never for our benefit. That was for them to be able to learn how to use the cage a lot better.
Bro, he's last time I heard from him, not heard from him, but I saw him my mom saw him in the Burleson newspaper. He's in the top 20 fighters in the state of Texas, like pro.
It doesn't surprise me, dude. He was very talented. The one person
he's very dedicated.
Yes. I feel bad, though, for John, most of all.
I don't know what happened to John.
I felt so bad for him because we both know how talented he was, and because of that injury he had, he could not do MMA.
No, but I'm sure he's at a gym.
I'm sure he's doing something.
Yeah.
Because that was his passion.
Well, that's what it was. So I saw Chad in a parking lot. What was it? It was like a parking lot in Crowley. Me and Selena went to get tacos. And I saw this giant man, and his hair is like super long now, and no more shaved head, and like getting gas. And I was like, that man looks very scary. And like he went inside and he walked back out. I was like, I think I know that man because he's like covered in tattoos. And I'm like, that's Chad. I was like, babe, I boxed that guy one time. I was like, the scariest guy.
I guarantee you didn't go up and say hi to him.
I did not. I stayed in my car.
I didn't win or anything, but I just want to let you know, if somebody that big came at us, I would at least give it a shot and spar with the guy.
I wouldn't win, but I could give you time to get away.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want you to know that, babe. You have time to run. I am your run time.
I can give you at least a good minute.
Okay. I can block a couple punches with the face.
Dude, I always loved that. John would make fun of us so hardcore from that. Anytime I boxed Chad, anytime Quentin went against Selena or Sabrina, every time. Like, dude, I remember I came out of the cage multiple times with Chad with my face swollen. And it's like, dude, like, thinking back on it, it's like, dude, I was a kid. Why?
You know who's... I know,
but Chad, it made me laugh because Chad, like John, would always come through and be like, "Dude, I love your technique of block with your face."
Yeah, he said that. Yeah, but dude, thinking back, like, because Chad was like our age now, then he was like 25. We were like 15. If we went to a gym now at this age, and our coaches were like, "All right,
I feel like
against this kid." I would feel kind of bad. And I'm not even near as big as that man.
But that's probably where we that's where we don't have that part in our brain though to get to where he's at though, right? Like that's the difference. There's a reason why we never went in anywhere in MMA because he actually cared. He was like, I don't care, put them in front of me. If they're dumb enough to get in front of me, they're dumb enough to get hit.
But there you go. But you have to get your actual practice in. So if you're always faking your practice and going 20%, you're shorting yourself. You're shorting yourself with shortcutting practice. Like, yeah. And then here's the other thing that actually made y'all better. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, like, did the coach do the wrong thing by telling y'all not to wear headgear? Because I bet when the cameras are off, if you go into any gym across the United States,
no headgear. Yeah.
It's probably like, probably like for the if the cameras come in, we throw it on, we're safe. But after that, it's like we go after.
Well, there's also like the philosophy of like you can't be a fighter and never have taken a punch. You know what I mean? Yeah. You can't be scared to get hit. You have to know how to get hit.
And in all fairness, when we didn't have headgear, he would vocalize like verbally, like, "Hey guys,
you
40 to 50%."
Yeah.
Oh, and also that, but 40 to 50%. And when he was verbal, like before someone's fight, like if we was like, "Hey, we're going 80%," I remember him making us wear headgear. At least I know V did. Yeah. If he was like, "You're gonna go hard right now."
Well, I feel like that was V though, but V being actually like a professional level coach who coached in the Olympics and boxed in the Olympics, like, feel like he had that smarts of like, I've been through the ringer enough. I know what they can take and what they can't take, and when
there's no point in giving these kids brain damage that I might not be doing it in a year. Like,
I mean, the other guy's philosophy is like, I want to make a bunch of killers. All right, we're gonna put killers with killers and make more killers. But the other guy's like, okay, like, let's be real. Maybe one killer is gonna emerge out of the group.
And that's so funny because he was that type of coach. He had me, and I was probably like third on the tier. Then he had Rhett. Then he had I know Rhett was his top one.
Yeah, Rhett was top, and then his brother.
Zach, Zach. So there was like three of us that like always took his classes, and he went out of his way to focus on us more than everyone else. Mm-hmm. But then the other guy was more like, I'm just gonna make everyone a killer.
Yeah. I mean, but that's how I felt with John. Is like I feel like John was always working with me on stuff.
John focused on you, Sabrina, and what's that dude's name?
What, Alfredo?
Yes. Alfredo. He was a killer, bro.
Yeah,
he was a killer. He was a killer, hands and ground. Mm-hmm. I used to be scared to spar with that man, and he was like, all right, he was like 17 or 18. He was just good.
Yeah,
he was good. And then what was that one guy's name? Nelson.
Oh yeah,
dude,
Nelson.
I got in the ring once with Nelson, and he was like, I'm only gonna go like 20%. I was scared for my life. Like that man is intense.
See, no,
he's really nice, but I just didn't know.
I just remember I feel like the only reason that gym loved me so much is you were like, this is my friend. He's incredibly dumb and he'll do dumb stuff. So like
and
the
you were
one
also
time
incredibly talented in jiu-jitsu for no reason. Without training. You're already like in the top 10.
But like I remember the day that we were like, all right, Clayton, we're going to feed you the worst stuff right before we go to the gym. You're only allowed to drink Monster. You are not allowed to drink water. You're going to go in and fight. And immediately, as soon as you told Sabrina, she was like, I want in on this. I want to make him throw up. I want to do it. I did not throw up, though. Wherewithal.
I remember that.
I remember she went hard. All she was throwing was body shots, too. She was like, don't even worry about your face. I'm going full body.
I remember that, and you still had to walk to the damn Clayton. Picture little Wagner eating junk food all day, tired after school, and he just gets gut punched for 3 minutes straight, and then he still has to walk to the back and drink Monster as his refresher in a hot gym.
Oh, it was a rough day, dude. It was a rough day. I made it through though. At the end of the day, I knew I could do it.
I remember you ate like 3 Debbie snacks, honey buns, Cheetos. It was terrible, bro.
Y'all tried to feed me some pastry.
The really hard challenge. The harder part is doing it now, because now I notice that day-to-day stuff. We're not even really old yet at all, but yeah, like if I eat a bunch of fast food and drink for a day, that next day for probably till noon, brain fog. I can't think of a solution. I blank on everything, and like my voice sounds gross. And unless I take a bunch of supplements and down a bunch of water and get it out of me or whatever I got to do, like it's like half the day's gone. So it's like I have to choose. Can I waste half of tomorrow? So imagine 10 years from now, it's like it's probably going to take 2 or 3 days to recover.
Dude, that's what's weird to me. Like, that is one of the things that, like, I do like about the fact that me and my girlfriend are learning, like, when we learn to cook, we do only, like, chicken. Chicken is the thing that we do multiple things with. Like, there's multiple times that, like, I could literally just eat chicken and rice. Like, I don't mind that at all.
Yeah.
And what we do is we take the chicken and we cook it in the soy sauce. So the edges of it are browned. It has some flavor to it. No extra seasoning. Put it on the plate. Like, I can eat stuff like that. And the next morning, I do wake up more awake. Like, I'm still tired because I just woke up because I don't get the proper amount of sleep that I need. But I wake up and I do get going a little bit quicker because of it. And I do like that, the fact that we're both like chicken-based meals. We'll figure it out. There's so many different things we can do with chicken.
Dude, during the ice, like, I got low on food. Atlas had enough to eat. But, like, what I eat, dude, like, I was down, like, the last 4 days I ate 1 meal a day. And I was just like, but I can do it because I do the fasting. I do everything else, so it's like this was like normal to me. So actually, I felt better every morning. And then like the hard thing about fasting is that you're eating less food and your body's taking less time to repair. So you actually need to get less sleep. So a lot of the times during this whole ice thing, I was up till 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But then I'd get up at 7 and I feel fine. It was like, that's the weird thing about fast. It's like, it actually gives you more energy. Like your body's not digesting all freaking day and all freaking night. So it's like, it's so weird.
At that point too, your body's just taking pure nutrients from yourself as well. You know what I mean? Like you're burning whatever your body has on it when you go into fasting and stuff like that. Your body is using itself and it's giving you exactly what you need.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I was like, dude, I can do a few more days of this. I mean, the problem is I need to get back to regular life, you know? But yeah, like,
dude, for me,
that's like it.
Yeah. What's funny is as a kid, I technically was doing intermittent fasting without even realizing it. Cause I literally would not eat lunch. I would not eat breakfast. I would come home, I'd eat a big dinner and that was it. That was my day. And I did that for years. And I wonder if that's also kind of what kept me in shape to a degree is the fact that we were doing stuff, but on top of that, I was intermittent fasting without even knowing about it.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, your body starts eating away. It eats what's disposable first. You start eating away fat more first, and you have more energy because fat burns better than simple carbs. So it burns through that first. So yeah, that's why you have that long sustained energy, you know, versus caffeine energy when you're like, oh, you're amped up for like an hour and then you crash. That's like you just feel like you can just keep going. You don't feel hypey. You just feel like I can keep going throughout the day. That's that type of energy. Like that's what people confuse. People think energy is like filling at 150%. Energy is just like being able to do anything, just anything. Because non-energy is like when you're like, I don't know why, but I really feel like I should lay down right now. Like that's what non-energy is.
Yeah, I don't disagree, dude. My sleep schedule is so bad right now after everything. Because like I'm going to sleep at like 1 or 2 in the morning every morning, waking up at like 10 to noon. Like I'm not.
Dang.
Yeah, my sleep schedule right now is garbage, so I got to get it in check before I get back to work and everything like that. That way I'm not tired as hell when I get back. But, I mean, I'll be fine. I'll figure it out. Like, tonight will probably be my last night of doing it really bad. But I feel like it's because I'm not doing anything all day. I'm literally coming back here, sitting on the computer, watching some TV shows, and then doing it. Like, then watching some streams, then going to bed. So I'm not doing anything to actually burn any energy to make my body actually tired. Like, mentally I'll be tired, but physically I'm like, dude, let's get it.
Let's get it.
Dude, have y'all ever looked into y'all's chronotype?
I have no idea what that is.
So this doctor popularized, there's like 3 or 4 chronotypes. It's how you're supposed to sleep. Like, how much sleep do you need? Because everyone's like, you know at least a few people that are like, oh, I need like 12 hours, and there's some people that that like they can do more than you off 6 hours. Mm-hmm. So there's these like, he popularized these different chronotypes, and like you can like take his quiz online and you'll go into his email funnel, but you'll at least get your answer. The point is like, there's like, it's like bear, wolf, I think it's like bear, wolf, dolphin. It's like these weird animals. Bear and wolf are the ones I can remember because I think I'm a bear, and Jeff Bezos is a bear. Basically, you need more sleep, and you are most effective kind of like 10 to 4 or whatever, towards the later half of the morning, but the middle of the day. And there's people, I think wolves need like the least amount of sleep. Like, they can be productive off of 6 hours of sleep is more than enough, but they work late at night. Mm-hmm. So like, and there's different chronos. Like, there's some people, I can't remember. I think the one's like a dolphin or something, but it's like, whatever the type is, it's like, there's some people that them. You're like, I have to be up at 5. I'm working on something by 6. I want to call my day by 1 p.m. You know what I mean? And you're like, some people are like, dude, I'm just getting started at 11. And it's like, there's actually different types like built into you. Mm-hmm. That's why it's not just like, dude, just be a morning person. It's like, well, actually, if you look into it, you're most creative at a certain time. Like, to me, and like ever since I took this quiz, it doesn't make sense to me. I'm most effective like that middle of the day, like 10 to 6 or 10 to 4, whatever. I get a lot of crazy ideas right then, and then I can work late, but I need more sleep. It's so weird, and it's like, I'm like, dude, that does make sense.
Well, it's funny too, is like when you look at sleep, like there are the people who do work off like 6 hours of sleep and need less sleep, they tend to die earlier. So it's like your body can function off of it and perform at its best then. But the thing with sleep studies are those people that sleep 12 hours and they don't know why, like they just do.
Me.
They will live longer than most people because their body is getting more time to actually repair what's going on.
Dude, I can sleep like more than 12 hours. Like, I've slept up to like 16, 18, like, and I'll wake up like, so like a regular day, like I'll go to sleep at like 1 and I'll wake up at like 9 or 10. So that's like 8 or 9 hours. Mm-hmm. I'll still feel like I slept for 3 hours. Like, I'll wake up and my eyes are like fluttering. I'm like, ugh. Like, I feel like I just pulled an all-nighter, and I'm like, why do I feel like this? Mm-hmm. I feel like that almost every morning. And my mom keeps telling me, she's like, you need to do a sleep study. Her coworker did a sleep study, and because she snored real bad, and they like put all those little things on her while she slept. And she found out, dude, she woke up 800 times during the night. Like, her eyes didn't wake up, but her body, I guess, like it came out of whatever that rest state is. 800 times.
Well, I'm sure it was the same way for you, because for you had that nostril thing, so I'm sure that was messing with you. But I'm sure you should do a sleep study. Me personally, I think the best sleep that I ever got, where I'd wake up and like I woke up, I could just go. You could have set me on a task as soon as I woke up, and I could
gallon of water.
Accomplishment. The gallon of water.
I remember that time.
I don't know why it happened or why it was working that way, but when I was drinking a gallon of water every day, I would just wake up ready to go. It did not matter.
Dude, but that is definitely because of staying hydrated, for sure. Like, when I was working at the plumbing job, the warehouse job, that was also when I was really into bodybuilding. So yeah, I was getting all my nutrients. I was going to bed at the same time every night. Weekday, weekend. I was waking up at the same time without an alarm. Weekday, weekend. So that's like, as soon as I woke up, I was ready to go, whatever. But yeah, like you're staying hydrated because your brain needs to be hydrated. So like constant caffeine and liquor and, you know, even if it's medicinal, it messes with you. It really does mess with you, like, believe it or not. So it's like, yeah, that changes your sleep and everything. So if you're going to sleep at the different times every night, that's going to mess with you. Like, to think it's not, like, it's just, you're kind of being silly at this point. Like, sure, it didn't when we were 16, but, like, we're not 16 anymore, you know? And,
yeah,
like,
definitely messes
you know
with
what I
now.
mean? And then also, like, what are we eating? Like, yeah, like I said, if I eat fast food one day, if I binge on fast food,
terrible.
It's going to be terrible that day and the next day. But if I go back to my normal diet, eating ground beef, chicken, you know, taking supplements, like, it feels like I'm just, like, flowing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh, this is what normal people, this is what people who take care of themselves feel like.
I don't know, dude. The gallon of water, I don't know why it worked out well for me. Like, I get the being hydrated thing, but there's also the idea of, like, I was overhydrated, dude. I was going to the bathroom constantly.
I remember you saying that it changed your wake up and your fall asleep time.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you would wake up at like 7 and fall asleep at like 7 or 8, like even if you didn't want to. Like,
yeah, I was going to bed really quick. Like, there was no 30 minutes of lying in bed waiting to fall asleep, not being able to. There's no restlessness. It was literally bam, bed, bam, wake up. And it was just perfect. Nice. I mean, I want to get back to it, but the thing is, like, dude, I remember it's a struggle to make yourself drink a gallon of water.
So hard.
Like, but the thing is, if you do it, and, like, if you can actually hold yourself to the rule of, like, I'm going to drink this gallon of water, I'm not allowed to go to bed till I finish this gallon. You will not drink sodas. You will not snack on foods because you just don't have the room. So you're literally just processing water and then whatever meal you ate.
As a wise man once said, that gallon of water a day is more important, or no, is as important, if not more important, than your macronutrients and going to the gym. That gallon of water, Chris Jones. Remember he held it up and he was like, drinking this water right here is going to do more for you than if you hit your macros and go to the gym. And he's like, this is so important. I was like, I remember thinking, because he drank 2 bottles of water with each meal. And he's like, 8 bottles
but
or whatever.
The thing is, with the whole gallon of water is, you tell people that because you know they're not going to do it.
That's true.
It's like,
yeah.
It's like,
after Clayton did that, it made me believe it. Like,
dude,
that's
it. It's a real thing. The thing they don't tell you about is the struggle to actually push yourself to do it.
I feel like it almost makes you sick.
It makes you sick too. Like, the thing is, like, you don't feel sick. It's just weird because whenever you go to eat, you're not eating because you're hungry. You're eating because you know you need to eat. Like, it's one of those things. It's like it suppresses my hunger so much that I'm like, I don't want a snack. I can't drink this soda. Like, I'm always in a constant state of full. Can I eat? Yeah, there's room. I need to eat because I need to process this. But that gallon of water, I'm adamantly, because I've done it and I saw results from it, that it's like, yes, it works. But it is a struggle to mentally push yourself to do it.
I think also, like, the big, you know, for the people who actually make it a gallon, but it's just like, I can't think of the example the other day, but something came up. It was like, you can't tell people to do that. And it's like, you say that because you know they're not going to do it. They're going to get 70% of the way there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, that's what it is. Like, if I can tell everybody, drink a gallon of water, you know, 20% of people try, 1% of people do it, but the other 19% of those 20, you know, or the 99% of that 20 is like, they can start drinking half a gallon of water a day. They start feeling better. Their face clears up. They get better sleep. I did my job. That's all it's like, so many things. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's like, you know, I only eat 1 meal a day. And it's like, you can just get people to not snack. You know, it's like, it's things like that.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, do you do the gallon of water?
No,
I don't.
no.
Yeah, see, I mean, that's just it. It's preaching from the other side. I understand, like, the benefit is, like, aim for the stars, or aim for the, what is it, aim for the moon, you'll land amongst the stars or whatever. Like, same idea of, like, you'll land somewhere where you're better off than where you were. But, dude, I want to push myself to start doing the gallon of water again, because I remember that. It was worth it.
Dude, just like the book, which I still haven't finished, my fault. I think I need to pay for my subscription now, Devin. But the book about finding bravery, that book, he talks about, like, what were we just saying? I just went blank.
What book is it?
He wants to get back to the gallon of water.
It's called, what is it called? Let me see. I think so. Maybe
The Bravest Few.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, so you're giving him different book recommendations. All right, then.
No, I gave you Atomic Habits. I gave him The Bravest Few. Yeah, I gave y'all different books related on what's going to help y'all. Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
So he was saying, he was like, so even if, I can't remember exactly how he said it, but something about when you start, like, if you set a goal for yourself and say you don't have time to fulfill that goal, like, such as something, it's just very simple. Like, he breaks stuff down very simple. He's like a lot of people skip breakfast. He's like, you're going to set a goal that you want to start eating breakfast every day. You want to eat breakfast before you go to work, but you wake up and you don't have time to make that breakfast. He's like, drink a glass of milk. It's not perfect, but it's a supplement and it starts you down that path. So it's just like what I was trying to relate back to what Clayton was just saying. Clayton's like, I want to get into that gallon of water. But Clayton, just drink a bottle of water tomorrow. Maybe the next day drink 2. It's better than, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was like, just start. You don't have to start incremental at change to level 10. Yeah. Start at level 1 and commit yourself slowly. Like, dude, something is better than nothing.
So with the weather thing happening the way and the electricity being out, what we were having to do is we'd go out to my car to charge our phones. The only thing we had to do in the car was read that book.
Oh, nice.
So, like, I've already listened to it in audiobook, and I need to go back and actually listen to it again because I actually enjoyed listening to it to keep it fresh on my mind and keep it still there. But we actually, like, I sat down and I started reading through it and reading out loud.
Oh, so you read Atomic Habits out loud with you and Victoria in the car?
Yep.
That's so freaking cool.
Because I was like, there's nothing else to do. The phones need to charge, so we can't be on our phones. So it's like, all right, cool. I was like, I've got a couple different books we can pick from. I was like, if you don't enjoy this book by the first, like, read or whatever, I can go find one of my other books on Scientology and we can listen to that and I can read you that. Those are really good books too. But Atomic Habits, I was like, all right, well, this is what we got. And she was like, it's interesting. She's like, I like it.
Yeah, like, and that's the thing, like, it's just like, yeah, like, I picked those books because, like, when I listen to them, I'm like, I know who would like this. You know what I mean? So, like, yeah, so I gifted, Clayton got Atomic Habits, you got The Bravest Few. But that is funny. It's like, Q, you got to finish that book, dude. Come on. Like, I've finished, like, 2 since then. Come on.
Yeah, I got to finish that book, bro.
Back in August, I was doing, like, a book a week. I got to get back more into it. Now I'm doing, like, 30 minutes every other day, but that's another thing, dude. Like, yeah, like during the ice too, like running out of stuff to do, knowing there's going to be minimal work to do tomorrow. Like, dude, a couple nights, like I was laying there in bed staring at the ceiling. I had an audiobook on. I'd just get like through an hour of it. And I'd be like, all right, I did my hour. I'll watch some YouTube now or something, or whatever, or like, it's like, dude, oh my gosh, like this is crazy.
Oh, dude, that's how it was for me. Is I was like, I was ready for it. Like, when it hit and everything, it sucked, but I was like, I can make this work. Like, I was like, I'll be fine. And it was funny because everyone checks in on y'all. Are y'all doing all right? Are you doing all right? Do y'all have enough food? It's like, it takes like weeks to starve. We'll be fine.
Takes like weeks to starve.
Dude, that's what I told my girlfriend because we like, dude, we
really
had like nothing because everything we had to be cooked. Everything's electric, so we couldn't cook anything. So
dude, we got super lucky. I don't know. Our electricity didn't go out at all. Like, it's very small blackouts. We just lost water.
No, dude, we lost it for like 2 days. It was pretty much 2 days because, like, by the time it was kicking back on, because, like, I think the first night it kicked on at like 9. We got it till like 11 until the power went back out again. And then, like, by that time, the house had dropped to 45 to like 50 degrees in the house. On the bed, we had my huge fleece blanket. Like, we had one of her comforters. We had the blanket that Devin got us, and we had another blanket, and we were wearing jackets and long pants underneath to stay warm and still being forced to cuddle because of how cold it was, just trying to watch stuff on our phone. Okay. Then it kicks back on. We get the house up to a manageable temperature. I've got the oven turned on to help pump more heat in the house so that I can get up. It gets up, bam, cuts off. Next morning, it's 45 again.
Okay, if this ever happens again, we have a guest room. Y'all are more than welcome to come here.
That's the thing. That's the thing. They have to be able to make it there is the problem.
Yes, that was the problem. That's true. Like, because, like, Dad's house was the same way. He was like, if y'all's power are still out and y'all really need a place, he's like, y'all can come to my house. That's fine. I'll come pick you up. But by that time,
our street, dude,
back on.
Our street got lucky because I know Chase and Allison lost power and water immediately. They had to go to her parents, and then Josh and Jessica lost it. And they're like less than a mile from us. But somehow, I don't know why, our street only lost water. We got lucky.
I don't know. For us, it was rough, but it was manageable. You know what I mean?
Y'all have water right now?
Oh, we have water the whole time. You know what sucks about having you know what sucks about having water with no electricity?
Ice cold.
You don't really need water. Yeah, I can't. I'm not going to take a freezing cold shower to get out into freezing cold and give myself a cold. So it's like, all right, I'm sitting in my own filth for a few days till the power kicks back on and I can get the hot water heater going.
I wore the same hoodie and shirt and pants for like 4 days, dude. Like, I would boil some water, wash my face, and just go about my day. And wash my face every morning, go about my day. But then, like, the final day, when I finally got to go to work, I washed my hair too. And it felt so different because it has like, your hairs have those natural oils. So letting those oils sit for 4 days, like, my hair felt better washing it just once as opposed to every day like we're so used to. And I was like, dang, like, I wish we could do this more often. Like, not the freezing thing, but, like...
I've had to... my problem with my hair is, dude, it gets greasy quick. I have, like, extremely greasy hair. Like, I go 1 day without showering, it looks like my hair is constantly soaking wet. So it's like...
Shave it.
No, not shaving
it.
I can go like a full week, and I look all right.
Yeah, for me, it's not a problem. Like, the oils
never know.
The oils are good for my hair. Like, there's a reason, like, girls don't wash their hair every night.
Yeah.
Because the oils are good for it. The problem is, like, I hate the way that it looks. So it's like, I have to shower all the time. And then I've also noticed, too, with the beard, if I haven't showered and it's been like a day or two and I haven't washed my beard at all, my beard gets greasy, too.
Oh.
Yeah,
that has yet to happen to me.
So, like, my beard hair will get greasy and stick together and stuff. I'm like, that's super weird because I don't think beard hair is supposed to get greasy.
Never experienced that.
It probably does. I mean, it's like, it's face pubes, man. It's going to get greasy.
Hey, say what you want, and I said the same thing when it was cold outside.
This face pubes.
You know what wasn't cold on my whole entire body? My face. Felt great. Felt warm. Felt a good temperature.
I mean, I just shaved my face today, so yeah, like, it was getting like I was just getting, like, you know, cookie crumbles and scruff, but yeah, like,
cookie crumbles.
It was like, yeah, dude, it stuck, man. Yeah, man, like, the house was 48, like, same as you. Hoodies, like, Atlas slept in a jacket as well. You know, we had 3 or 4 blankets on and a space heater. It sucked, but yeah, man. I mean.
It was rough, but it was doable. But I always hate it. Like, are y'all gonna be okay? Yeah, we will be fine. It's not like a dire situation. It's like, this is just unpleasant. The worst part was, honestly, I could have dealt with it all if my Wi-Fi was on. Just because the problem with like having to use phone data is everyone in the area without electricity is doing the same thing. So my phone was pulling a megabyte if I was lucky. So like anything I would try to watch spins. All right, cool. Goes a little bit, spins. So you have to just adapt to being able to watch it that way.
Dude, and like that's the other thing too is like it's all consensual. Like I'm fine being home. I am home most of the time, more than not. But it's all consensual. It's like you're making me stay home. Now this sucks.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you know what I mean. It's all consensual. You know, it's
dude,
my choice.
I loved it. I was like, dude, I get to stay home, and I have a great excuse as to why I can't go anywhere. Oh, I am down. Like, it's sad because, like, in all honesty, I believe that I'm genuinely agoraphobic. I do not like going outside. I don't like it. I don't know why. It's just this weird thing. I don't like going
like
out.
that. I mean, you weren't like that as kids, though. You were like the athletic one.
Even then, like, if I could have, if it wasn't for y'all, I would have not gone outside. I was okay with, like, dude, when I wasn't hanging out with y'all, I was sitting in my living room playing Battlefield for hours, and I could deal with that. Like, I would have people who get on, like, we would start the server in the morning at like 7 or 8 o'clock, play, like, someone would jump on at like 10 or 11, play for an hour or two, jump off. It would be 8 or 9 o'clock at night. They would get back on, and I've still been just sitting there. I'm still in the zone. I've been playing the whole time.
It's like to me, it's like you know, what is the reason? You know, like I'll go outside if I'm going for a walk in the park, which, you know, right now it's too cold these past few months. Like I'll go for a walk in the park. I'll go outside. I don't go outside for the sake of going outside. Oh, we're eating at a restaurant outside. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, and that's why I've decided to start taking vitamin D, because I'm like, my exposure to the sun is extremely minimal.
Well, that's just it. That's what's crazy to me too, is like you will do those things of like, you'll go to a restaurant, you'll go to the park, you have a purpose for going out. Me, I will justify no matter what, that purpose isn't worth it. So for me, it's like, oh, we could go to a restaurant. I'm like, why would I do that? I can just do takeout from that restaurant and eat it in the comfort of my own home. Why? You know what I mean? Like that. There's always a reason for me to want to do it at home instead.
I see what you're saying, because I like a lot of the times I want to do that, but also sometimes like I'll be like, Selena, like, let's go somewhere. You know, like I want to like dress up, or you dress up, or I want to take you out somewhere nice, or let's like spend the day outside of the house. Like, yeah, we could bring it here, but we're here all the time.
See, you do
like
that.
just like a new atmosphere. Something, you know?
I'm the other side of that coin. I'm okay with doing that at home, day in, day out. Victoria's like you, of like, no, we need to get out. We have to do something.
See, me and Selena are both pretty lazy. Like, we're both homebodies. We like chilling at home. But everyone's like, this past week, dude, like, that sucked. Like, we tried to get out one of the days, and we went to the post office, and it was closed. And so was Cat Stevens, and so was Dollar General. I was like, this might be a sign. we came back home.
I don't know, dude. I'm just okay with being at home always. Like, it's a problem, really. Like, something I actually have to work on. Like, like that's why I
love being at home. I mean, I don't think it's a problem, brother. I mean, you go to work. It's not like you're scared to go outside.
It's not like it's a problem, but it's one of those things of like something that I don't like about myself. You know what I mean? Something that needs to be changed to improve everyone's life around me as well. You know what I mean? Because it's like the same thing. Like, I forget when I was talking to Devin about it, but like for a long time there, y'all would go out clubbing, go out partying. I didn't. I stayed home. So like I had dropped out of the friend group. The only reason I was still somewhat in that friend group and still kind of knew what was going on was because I would talk to Devin, and Devin was going out with y'all. So I'd get filled in from Devin. But that would always be a problem for me. Is like I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to do those things. So it kind of hurt me in the fact that like during that time, I don't feel like I was as close as the group as I should have been.
I'm sorry, Wags.
It's not.
I wish it would have came out.
It's not about the fact of like, sorry that didn't happen. I don't regret that. Like that happened. That makes sense. But it's one of those things where it's like to myself, I'm like, dude, I wasn't there. I wasn't there for my friends who might have needed me in that moment. I wasn't there to help or anything like that or add anything to their lives.
To me, I don't think about it. Yeah, I think about you weren't there for the funny moments. I don't care about the help.
Yeah,
or being there. I think about the funny shit. Right?
And here's the other thing about like going out. You know, it's like to what degree? Because the clubbing thing, you're not missing
out. Phase.
I will tell you.
It's a phase, man.
I will tell. Yeah, I'll tell you. Like, I did it for the sake of doing it. Yes, we had fun. I'm not gonna act like, oh, it's miserable inside. Like, no, it's fun. But really, like, it's not like club. Like, I don't miss I'm not gonna miss going to varsity. If you told me you can never go to varsity again, I'd be like, okay. You can never go to 7th again. Okay. You know what I mean? Like,
honestly, now I'd have more fun like with 3 of us going to like a bar, like an actual be like a Dalton's Corner or something, even if it's like a bar restaurant or something like that.
I feel like that's how
that's
I
chill
am.
for me.
Like my best times were when Devin would invite me out to Applebee's and we'd all go to Applebee's and chill after work. Like stuff like that. I like more intimate settings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, when it comes to like big parties at your house, they're fun, but I'd prefer for us to just all be at your house chilling, having a kickback.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not. Yeah. That's what I learned from going out clubbing, because I've gone myself multiple times. I'm like, let me go by myself.
Really?
And yeah, dude. And yeah, and it weirds people out. Like, I've gone to varsity by myself. I've gone to West 7th by myself and just like club hop. Going by yourself is weird for most people. It's a little weird for me in retrospect, but like, it doesn't bother me. Like, I would dance and stuff. But what you notice when you go by yourself is you see everyone else. Everyone else goes in groups of 5 to 10 people and they just stand there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what are we doing here? Everybody's just standing in their cliques, watching everybody else stand in their cliques, and there's like 3 people dancing. I was like, this is just like this is what everybody does, you know? And I was dancing by myself, and like people would laugh at me and stuff, and I'm like, I didn't care. I was having a good time. So it was like a different level of like breaking a different level of confidence, because like I literally can see people laughing at me, but I'm still dancing, you know, because I drove all this way. But it's just like, I don't like going by yourself is dumb.
Yeah. And you go with friends for the atmosphere, because you don't, the very, very, very rare occasion you like talk to a stranger and befriend them. Like, usually you go out and get fucked up before you even get there. And then when you're there, you just party or whatever. Everyone gets pumped if they see someone from high school, which almost always happens. And then we all go eat food and go home.
Dude, that's
usually that's the most fun part, is trying to round everyone up when everyone's drunk to get into the car, and then trying to get the food and get home, because that's when everyone's communicating again, like what Clayton said. It's more intimate. When we're all separated in the clubs, usually I don't have fun. Unless I'm trashed, I don't have fun at that point, because then it's just like we just have to walk and keep up with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's the journey versus the destination thing, because like when I did go by myself, I danced with a few people, you know what I mean? And I went with y'all, danced with a bunch of people, like that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
But they danced with me because they saw me with a group. So like, okay, this guy's not a weirdo. He has friends. That's the difference. So it's like, why does everybody go in a group? Because like, it's like we're going out in a group to stand. We could have stood in our garage at home. You know what I mean? It's atmosphere. But and like, 100%.
It is atmosphere.
I mean, that's just how it is. I mean, same reason why we wanted to start the podcast. I just like having conversations and keeping up with everyone. Like, I've always preferred us sitting in the garage. Like, when we talk about stupid space stuff that always went nowhere, but it's interesting. I feel like it works my brain a little bit more.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
we got it. Yeah, I was going to tell you guys, have y'all talked to Tyler lately? By chance or no?
Apparently he's back in Texas. I heard from his one of his leaders.
So I don't know what's going on, but Dale was here before the freeze fixing our plumbing, And I was like, "What's going on, man?" And he was like, real brief conversation, but he was like, "Have you talked to Tyler?" I was like, "No, not since he's had his baby. Like in the summer." He's like, "Oh man, that's a while." He's like, "Well, you should talk to him." I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "Well, a lot's changed." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Last time you saw him, he was in Salvation Army up in, I forgot what state he said." I was
Georgia.
like, "Yeah." He was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, he's in Oklahoma and he's working at some metal shop or wood shop or something, and a lot's changed." But he's like, "I'll let him tell you the story." I was like, "What?" He's like, "He's got to tell it." And he told my mom the same thing. I'm like, "What does that mean?" So I texted him the most recent number I have, and he hadn't replied. So I didn't know if y'all talked to him or if y'all had his number or something.
No,
But
I mean,
dude, I haven't
apparently a
spoken to
lot's
him.
changed.
The information I've gotten about him was because one of his leaders in the Salvation Army is a customer of mine.
That's interesting.
So like I've talked to him. It was funny because it was random. I was like, "Oh, I have a buddy that's in the Salvation Army." I was like, "Oh yeah, he was in Georgia." They're like, "What's his name?" I bet I taught him some stuff and talked to him. And like, "Yeah, we know him." I was like, "Oh, cool." And then they said, "Yeah, I think they told me like the other day he's back in like the area."
I don't know. So I mean, Dale came here. It was like 2 weeks ago now. So I mean, he said he was in Oklahoma, but I'm sure he's back. I'm gonna try to message Blake.
Yeah, we need to.
I think he has.
We haven't had the group back in forever. Like we need to have the whole group back together and talk.
I want to do that. Yeah, I want to do that. Kind of like what we did at Chase's with us four.
Yeah.
But if we can get Blake and Tyler, they're just those two are hard to wrangle down.
Yep.
I mean, last time I talked to Blake, his business was like up and going. The last I heard from my mom, he's like successful as shit right now. Like he started out renting from when I was passing out flyers for him like a year or two ago. He would rent a room in a church where he taught. And then him and Angel got their house. His spare bedroom was their classroom / his office. Now they have another house, and their old house is his entire office. And when I was passing out flyers for him, he was doing it full time, and he had passive money. He had like 16 students. Depending on the plan they paid him monthly, regardless if they showed up for their lessons or not. Like he was set, dude. Like he had that entrepreneurial mindset way before we did. Like he told me he came home from AC work. He blew out blood and dust into a tissue, and he's like, "There's got to be a better way to do this." And he joined a community online. He showed me there's like 20,000 people, and it sounds big, but it's actually small. It's like worldwide, but of people who own guitar like schools. And he's like, "This is what helped me take off, dude." And now he's doing it. Like he's supporting his whole family off it. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know,
dude. And that's it, dude. Like it's so funny. Like just crazy, like how lives turn out. But yeah, like I think about him sometimes, like playing guitar, or I have him and his wife on Facebook. But of course, I mean, he doesn't post. He keeps himself.
No, yeah.
Every now and then
on Snapchat, and I see the baby all the time.
Yeah, like every now and then, like I'll see one of his ads. You know what I mean? Like, that's Blake. But like I'll see like his wife, of course, will give updates. Like they just got their house. They just got their, like, this is our forever home. But yeah, like that is so cool to see him do that. And it's like,
dude,
something has to happen for the switch to come on to pursue what you want to pursue. For him, that was the moment.
That's what he told me. Like, he was like, he had his baby, his wife. And when he got that old house, the one that's his office now, he said it was crap. Like they had to fix a bunch of stuff. Everything was messed up. And he was working like so many hours, and he felt terrible when he'd come home. He's like, "This isn't it." Like, and like you said, like, it's just like almost like when you go Super Saiyan, dude, it's like a ting, like
there's a Super Saiyan element to it, but it's like you realize the pain. You didn't imagine it. It actually is there, and it's like, dude, something has to change. And like for me, while I do have other interests and other pursuits I want to go after, like for me to make the jump out of some other careers I've had, like I had that moment. For me, it was like for me to leave the manual labor job, it was, I remember like at the time I was really like, I was chasing girls and I was trying to get dates. And I remember I finally had one secured. And then on the way home, we got called back in from the job we just left. Next thing I know, I've been clocked in for 21 hours. And then we're driving home. And it was during the time, probably 6 years ago or so at this point, when we had the worst rain ever. Like everyone was posting, like they couldn't
I remember
see.
that.
Everything was flooding, and people were like it looked like a bathroom, like a bath faucet was pouring on your car window. They're like, I can't even see, and I'm like, we drove back in that. It like just the constant downpour, and like I remember I got home, slept for like 3 hours, went back into work, and yeah, that was like I'd already had enough. That was like, okay. It cost me one of my dates that a lot of the time meant a lot to me. I was miserable. I was overworked, and it's like, dude, I can't do this anymore. I cannot live this life. And then I looked at everyone around me and I'm like, this is what you do. That's it. You know what I mean? So that was when I really dove into, the personal training certification. I got certified within 1 day on a Sunday because I was so hungry to find any way to get this done. I paid some no-name university. I passed the quiz first try on one Sunday morning, and I was like, maybe this will get me in. Maybe this will get me in. I remember, and I told the head guy at the gym of like, have you heard of this university? I passed. He's like, never heard of them. I'm like, so then I went back and I had to go to NASM. NASM is like the go-to one for personal training. They send you a textbook. You have flashcards. You have to register to go take the test.
Oh my God.
You have a Scantron, like all this stuff. You know what I mean? And I was studying the flashcards on the way to the job sites and the way back home because I couldn't drive. I wasn't allowed to drive because I wasn't 21 yet. So I would just study flashcards the whole way there, the whole way back. And, and then I tried that. That obviously failed, but at least
you tried it because you wouldn't,
At the time, failing at that was better than staying at where I was at. I had literally, that's how much pain and misery I was in. I was like, I don't care if this fails. Mm-hmm. I was like, something has to change. So then, of course, I grabbed a sales job, same mentality. This can't fail. This is my last shot at it, whatever. But it's like the pain was realized. I was like, this is not going to be my life. Mm-hmm. So, it's like how it's like the blood in the napkin.
You have that moment, and then you also realize surround yourself with the successful people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you always surround yourself by the do-nothings who've never done anything with their life, you're never going to do anything with your life either. That's also one of the things I love about our friend group is like, dude, even though we're all kind of doing different things, we're all pushing to try to do better than everyone else. Like we're all pushing each other as far as it goes. Like Blake has his business. I want to do better than him. Not for an unhealthy reason of like, oh, I don't want him to have those things. It's like, I want to get mine too. I want to do better.
It's a competitive thing, dude. Yes, it's just like when me and you would box.
Yes, same thing. And then same thing with Devin. That's why I enjoy talking to Devin every chance I can. Because he tells me stuff he's doing, and I'm like, oh, no. I will be number one in this friend group. I will not let you beat me. And then same thing with, like, you comparing yourself to us. Like, we're all forcing each other to be better than we were the day before. We don't let each other slack.
I used to look at that as an unhealthy thing. Mm-hmm. Like, as a kid and a teenager growing up, my mom would always tell me that's like an unhealthy thing. Like she's like, you need to quit comparing yourself. Because I growing up, I guess not having a father and growing up with you guys, y'all were like my goals or my male influences. Like even though you're the same age as me, but Devin, Clayton, Chase, Blake, and Tyler, like I could find something in each one of you that I appreciated and respected and that I wanted to be a part of me. But I could never achieve that same level of whatever attribute I was trying to achieve from each person that y'all had. And my mom always brought that back to like my depression, which I don't think that was. I think that was actually what was saving me, to be completely honest. I think that's what was keeping me above water.
Well, I think with everything it's a degree of like, there's a healthy level of it and an unhealthy level. Like I said, I'm happy Blake's getting those things. He's working hard. I still want to do better than him.
Yeah, dude, it's just like the crypto. Every time the crypto stuff happens, I want to message you and Devin, and I'm like, what the fuck are y'all doing? What are y'all doing right now? Like, what's going on?
Because there's that healthy competitiveness. Now, I think it gets to an unhealthy point if I literally wish Blake never had those things.
That's different.
He doesn't deserve it. That's when it gets to like an unhealthy
like jealousy or
level.
Yeah.
Yes. Whereas if it's like, I want to push myself to be better than my friends, there's nothing wrong with that. You should want to push to be a better person than you were the day before.
And you have to, like, it's the whole leveraging your ego thing. You know, like, I know, like I'm not big on YouTube, obviously. I have like 20 subscribers, but like, sometimes what gets me fired up is seeing a bad video.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm like, this guy's got like 9,000 views. And I'm like, dude, this video sucks. And I don't mean editing, because I don't really put a bunch of cinematography in my stuff. I literally turn the camera on and go. But I at least think through what I'm going to do. And I'm like, the point this guy's making sucks. Your delivery sucks. Your examples, you know what I mean? It's like, it's that ego talking. And it's like, I literally feel like I can do better than this guy.
Yep.
And that's like 90% of guys. That's what gets you into stuff. You're like, I can do better than that guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
It's not a bad
thing. And it's
thing.
like leveraging. It's not. It's leveraging the ego. And for the friend group, you have to find where it helps and where it hurts. Yep. It can help you if it makes sense. Like, Quinn, I remember this, dude. I have something about this. I remember one day we were walking to the car, and I was talking about where I was with fitness. It was when we were both going to iFit, and you're like, yeah, but you're in like better shape than like 90% of people. And I'm like, yeah, but 90% of people don't work out. So what is it like? To me, I was like, that's like saying I can run faster than a goldfish. It's like,
oh yeah,
compare me to the people in the gym. Now I'm only in like the top 50. So it's like you got to find like what makes the most sense, you know, like, you know, it's like, who is actually skateboarding, who's doing YouTube, who's being creative, who is, you know, or, you know, we're all in sales, you know, so it's like, you got to find what makes sense. Like, don't pick the easy win. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm healthier than the obese guy. It's like, okay, you're kind of picking the easy target here, bro. Like,
there's definitely like, there's a competitive edge to everything. Like I love it. Like, I mean, I had to have the conversation with my brother when he was living with us, because like we were talking about money, and he just could not comprehend the fact that I love saving money. Like, oh, I love it. I love watching my bank account grow. And he's like, well, to me, that just seems pointless, because you can't take it with you. And it's like, you look at it the wrong way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he looks at money in an aspect of like, you can't take it with you. It's not great or anything like that. He just has a different perspective on money. Whereas for me, I look at money and I'm excited to watch that bank account grow. I'm excited to get it big because what that money allows me to do. And he asked me, well, isn't that unhealthy that you want to make more money than everyone else? It's like, it can be, but it's not for me. Like, it's not an unhealthy thing to want to have more money in my bank account than anyone else. Like, I'm sure if we all measured bank accounts right now, we'd all probably have close to the same, but I still want to be better than everyone else. I want to have more money in my bank account than y'all. Like, you know what I mean? Because, like, me and Devin have talked about this. Like, Devin talked to me. Like, we've talked about money and savings and everything like that. I love it. I love watching my bank account grow. It's a high score to me.
My goal is to achieve a bank account that is like yours and Devin's, because I know y'all's are leagues above mine, man.
Oh,
I bet you don't.
Yeah, I know Devin's. I know Devin's.
No, it's not what you say. Y'all, it would be very easy to surpass me because of dumb decisions I've made.
Yes,
so I'll tell you that. It would actually be very easy to surpass me.
I know Devin's.
I still remember the day that in my head, I was like, my friend's well off. Like, I remember thinking it. I met you at Roadhouse. It was you and Claudia, and I met y'all
I
there.
remember
and
it was Roadhouse. I know this.
You like rode off. It was like fucking $50 or something. You just like gave her like a $15 tip. You just like wrote it so fast and so confidently. Because when I write tips, dude, I sit there and I think, I'm like, does this person deserve this much? Do I really want to drop this much? I'm going to see this person again. And you were just like, you did it so quick and you didn't even think about it. And I was just like, I would have thought about that check,
dude,
for a good minute or two before I wrote that.
So
and you were just like, it was out of your mind. I was like, dang.
Here's what you don't know is the story that I heard after all of this, after the dust had settled on all that stuff, when Devin was like, yeah, dude, I found out how much I was spending on my credit cards. I got to get those paid off. Because he was like, it showed me an analysis, and he's like, I spent like $1,200 on going out to eat.
Damn, boy.
Dude, yes. Like, while he had the money and it was healthy, he was in a financial state to do that. The dust settled and he was like, dude, I was throwing away money that I could have been squirreling away.
I figured out how to, in my bank, I can like consolidate which companies I specifically spent money at, and it'll backdate. It'll go all the way back to like June 2019. I've spent $800 at Sonic in the last year and a half, bro.
Oh, I bet you I got you beat on Chick-fil-A, bro.
I was 680 at the Walk, 380 at McDonald's. I'm just like thinking, like, what am I doing? Mm-hmm. Like, this is just ridiculous.
It's just, when you pull up those stats, it's like, I could have paid off my car. I could have put
crypto. I could have invested.
I could have put. You're like, I could have paid off the stuff I'm not paying off and I'm making minimum payments on.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's such a reality check, and most people won't look at it.
Dude,
like, the fact that you even look at it is at least a start. But when I finally looked at it, I was like, what am I complaining about? This is all my fault.
Well, dude, what's funny is flip side of the coin for me. I can't look at money. If I look at money, like if I look at my bank account, I can justify stupid purchases. Like, I know how much money I have in my bank account right now. I know that. I know I could have more, but if I go to look at the analysis of you spend money here, here, and here, I don't look at it as like, I could go put that in something else. I'm like, I could spend more at that place now because I know how much I have.
See, my two biggest problems is food and Selena. And not that she requests things. I want to purchase her these things, even though I don't have the money. But I act like I do because I don't want her, like worry or nothing. But I want to, and then I end up, those are my two biggest spending problems. Because really, other than her and food, all my money goes to either bills or investing and saving. Like I don't. There's not really anything I buy anymore. It's not like, I'm saving up for this game, or I'm saving up for these magic cards, or anything like anymore. It's just like, I'm saving up for that oil change next month, or I don't know, dude. Like, or Sonic. I love Sonic. I love Sonic right now.
My problem is like whenever I have money, and the problem with it is when I have that money, if someone around me wants something, like, it's like I like to be extremely generous with it. Like if you were to tell me like, yeah, dude, I'm really saving up for a PC, I'd give it like a month or two, and if you're still talking about that PC, I'll slide you $3,000 or $1,500. I don't care.
I would feel really weird about that.
I want you to enjoy that as a gift. Like, that's my thing. Like, my problem with money is when I realize I have it, I want to take care of the people around me, and I'm like, dude, I don't care. Take it. Here you go.
I mean, I don't think that's a bad thing, but me as a recipient, if I received that, I would feel guilty because I would be like, Clayton could use it for something. Or like, for example, Dave, my ASM, bro, since he started, he's more well off than he seems. Him and his wife like have a joint account. They've saved money. They're very smart with their money. And he's got a lot of money saved up and in his checking. That dude buys me lunch, I would say 4 out of the 5 days I work. 4 out of the 5 days I work, he buys me lunch. Or he buys lunch. Today he bought Sonic and gas station drinks for everyone. And he just doesn't care. Or like he'll be like, because the car he drives right now, the windows don't work. He's like, I don't want to open my door in the drive-thru. And he'll just throw his card on the table, like, get yourself something nice and I'll text you my order. You know, like he just makes jokes about it now, but like, because I always give him shit. But it's like sometimes I'm like, dang, dude, like I feel kind of bad. But he's like, no, I don't feel bad. He's like, I want to. He said, what you said, Clay. He's like, I want to share it with you, my friend. Like,
yes,
you know,
it's about the relationship you build with people. But there's also gauging the people that you can do that with. Like with you, I know that if I were to slide you $1,000 or something like that,
yes,
I need to make you work. I need to make you feel like it's a fair trade-off. Like I didn't just hand it out to you. Like there's a particular way to do it. Like
yeah.
If I like, it's the idea of giving gifts. Like, if I'm gonna give you a gift, I want it to be something that you're gonna use, and I'm also gonna want some form of repayment back. So, like with Devin getting us the books, he got those books for us, but at the same time, it's gonna benefit him as well by him getting us those books. Because those things that we do, the better people we become.
He wants us to reflect back.
Yes, he's gonna push us higher, which will in turn push him higher as well, even if it's on a subconscious level. There's a reason why those gifts were given. One, it was a heartfelt gift that he knew we needed, but at the same time, he also knows that that's going to come back and pay off in dividends.
Yeah, because
related to us personally.
Hopefully, well, yeah, I mean, they mean something to me and y'all, but I am also like, are y'all going to catch up to me in reading books? If y'all do, this will be fun. But if not, okay, more for me. But it's like,
I want to point out
that ego again.
I was beating all of y'all in books way before. Dude, I was listening to 40K books for months before any of us started talking about reading. My problem is I was throwing it away on 40K lore that I'm like, this has no practical use in life. But I loved it. I was like, dude, this is a great story. This is, dude, I am like the king of useless knowledge that doesn't apply to the real world at all. But you're like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like, I'd be like, oh, yeah. Beaver anal gland is what's used to make raspberry flavoring.
Hey,
everyone's like, why do you know that? And I'm just like,
my brother would listen to that.
Dude, I'm the king of useless information.
I'm pretty sure he's read the 40K books. He's read all the Star Wars.
They're good
fiction books.
What I mean is, like, I will throw my time away.
I know he used to read the World of Warcraft
useless
books.
Information. Like, I will learn useless information.
Well, here's the thing. It's not useless, though, because it's just like what we read at the beginning. It's art. It's just like the music or the movies is just another form of media, bro.
But that's just it. I look at it
and consuming it, and you're learning something about yourself and the world, even if it's fiction or not. Whether you learn a new word, you learn a new phrase, or you just you're like, I don't know, you could read something like an interaction between two characters and relate that to an interaction between you and your dad or you and Victoria and be like, man, maybe I should have handled that differently. Like, it doesn't have to be a non-fiction book to relate. Mm-hmm. It could be anything.
Yeah, because I'll tell y'all before even, to get ahead of it, even, if y'all do go down the self-improvement books journey, by your 5th or 6th one, you're like, okay, I pretty much get the idea. They all
say the same thing. It's just a different wording.
Yeah, so and I'll tell you that because after my first few, I was like, half of these thoughts I've already had, and half of them are already from a different book. You know what I mean? So now it's like I'm like learning different stuff. Like I did Lean Startup. Like a few ones I need to start is Good to Great. These are like building businesses, and the current one I'm on is NLP communication. Like things about coaching people and things like that. So it's like, you're like, okay, that genre I'll go back to, but I had its run. Now I'm on the next thing.
I mean, that is
just like what you just said.
You're good. Go.
Yeah, I mean, just like what you just said. I mean, you're all
right, I think I lost.
When you read the words you just said, I'm sorry, I'm blank.
You're good.
Yeah, because I'm skipping. Is my signal going out?
It did for a second.
No, you're here now.
What's up now?
Oh, okay. But like you just said, I can't remember what word you said, but when you're reading it, it makes you think, like what Clayton was saying. Even if it's fiction, you have a thought, and I'm not saying an original thought, but it's original to you as an individual. Like, whatever you just read that could it really could change your life. Like that bravery book that talked about a form of bravery, and this author's opinion is telling people, no, I don't have the time to come help you with whatever you need help with. Like he's like, you have to make time for yourself. And turning someone down or saying no is technically a form of bravery, because most people won't do that. Mm-hmm. You're disappointing someone, but you're disappointing someone so you can progress yourself. So, I mean, it's a hard choice for a lot of people like myself. I mean, Devin knows that, so he got me that book, but like hearing him say that, it helped. It did help. Like him saying, like, you saying no to someone can progress you. And it's an act of bravery. It's a valid, like almost like what Warren Buffett, bringing it all the way back. It's more simple than you'd think. I make it more complex than it really is.
It is more simple than you think, but I think the other thing you're getting at is a validation of your thoughts, because that is a lot of it for me.
Yes.
When I watch certain YouTube videos or when I do read these books, I'm like, I thought of it, or like I feel this way, and it's like, you're not going to get any credit going around telling everybody, I thought of this before them. You're not. But it's a validation of your thoughts, because, like, that's one. T-Pain said that in one of his live streams. T-Pain, he was like, do it before someone with money does. And all he was getting, he's like, go ahead and create that thing, because if you don't create it, someone with more money is going to do it, and they're going to do it worse. You need to go ahead and jump on it. And I'm like, that's simplifying the message as best you can, but it's like, your idea probably is out there. Okay. Just do it.
Because someone else
it is a validation of your thoughts, but it's like, dude, trust me, people feel like you. And like, there's these guys that making full-time income, 6-figures incomes that I see on YouTube, and they go on, like this other guy I saw on the live stream the other night. And I'm like, dude, I was just thinking about this in the car the other day, and you're making 6 figures, living your dream life, saying stuff that I talk to myself about in my car. I'm like, why am I not doing this?
Mm-hmm. Well, there's also that point of like, yeah, just do it better. I mean, it's one of those things. If you don't ever try, you'll never know, right? Like it's that FOMO. Like if you never try, you'll never know, and you'll always beat yourself up about it.
Sure, it's just like personal training with Devin. Like, yeah, I mean, you would probably regret it now if you didn't do it back then. I mean, there's certain things I regret not doing, like in the past. Like, I mean, UNT, dude, I 100% regret not taking that serious. I 100% regret, honestly, because what you said to me when we started working out still goes through my head. I would say on a weekly basis. But you remember when we were sitting there in the dorm and we were talking about, this is like some stupid stoner conversation, but we were talking about like, bro, you remember back in the days of like Greek mythology and everyone just sat around and had philosophized about stuff and like didn't do anything, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you looked at me and you were like, Schwinn, what if we're in that moment right now? We don't even know it. Because I was like, all these people are just going to the gym and educating themselves at this university and all this stuff. And I regret not taking advantage of that, because I was so focused on my own ego and Chelsea at the time and not worrying about what I could actually do for myself. I just wasted it. And I still feel like me dropping out encouraged you to drop out, because I know Macy was pressuring you too. And I always feel guilt for that. And I feel like if me and you would have stuck there, I'm not saying we'd be like some rich millionaires with degrees or something. I'm just saying the experience and the working out and the camaraderie and like just going through that, I still regret I do still regret
that's
that.
Also
I think
that's also looking at the fact too of like, you're not understanding that you went to college and got a different experience, but you still got the experience.
I love that experience.
I
do love that experience.
You have to understand like those things. It's not like people look at it like y'all went to college, y'all wasted y'all's time there because y'all didn't graduate. No, you found out something about yourself. You know what I mean? Like you still learned.
That's true.
Something.
That's true.
You found out something. It's not like it was a net negative. it was just like, man, it sucks that I had to spend money to figure that part out.
Dude.
Yeah.
And then here's the thing. I think about this, Schwinn. And I've always wondered, I'm like, does he feel guilty about that? I'm sure he does. No, you shouldn't, because you dropping out helped me. Because I was like, okay, it's okay to drop out. My friend's doing it. Because, dude, had I not dropped out, I would not be where I'm at today. I would not have the life I have. I would not have achieved anything I've achieved today. Had I not dropped out.
True.
I am thankful that I dropped out because I was not doing something I wanted to do. That was one moment of bravery of like, I don't want to do this. Why am I here? And then looking for social proof, you were dropping out. I was like, you know what? I can drop out too, because I was literally there for no purpose, dude. The class I was taking was not what I wanted to take. I switched my major. Why?
Same.
Because I chickened out. I chickened out of my real one. So I was already like, why am I here? I already chickened out of my other one. I'm here for no reason. So no, dropping out, one of the best decisions I ever made, because guess what? We still worked out. We still hung out. I ended up doing so many things I wanted to do.
True.
Like, we would have just got out of college.
That is true. I mean,
2 years ago, maybe. And we would be living at home.
2 years ago.
Like, not having a career. I'm not saying living at home, but not having a career. We wouldn't have even had a job yet. What?
Mm-hmm. Well, no, dude, it's crazy. It's crazy to think about those things.
I understand. I got the room.
It's funny seeing that stuff and knowing that that's how y'all felt about college. Whereas for me, it was just like from the very beginning, I was like, yep, not in the cards for me, not doing it. Like, it's weird to see that foresight of like, y'all were like, well, is it okay to drop out? Whereas for me, it was like, yeah, I'm just never gonna go. And the way y'all's mindset was like, I needed the validation to know that I could drop out.
I only went to college because that's what I thought I was supposed to do. I mean, that's what my brother did, and that's what my grandparents always talked to me about. They're like, hey, we have this college fund. You're going to go to college after you graduate. Pick one. And based on my personality, I was like, oh, I got to pick a college. All my friends are my age. But Blake's at UNT. I'm going to UNT. That was my logic. I was like, cool.
Dude.
And they're like, what do you want to go to college for? I was like, I like to show criminal minds. Let's do criminal justice. Like, I had no fucking idea, dude.
That's the whole problem. Yeah, and that's the whole problem. Like, why did I go to UNT? Because Blake went and you were going to apply. So I'm like, okay, let me go somewhere where I might know somebody. Safety net. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the only reason.
You know, sure, I went for my degree that I wanted at the time, but I only went because I felt like I was supposed to go. I didn't go because I wanted to. I felt like I was supposed to go.
Yep,
and then that was a great lesson in my life, predicated on everything else I've done. If I'm not doing something because I really know that, like, why I need to be doing it, then why am I doing it? It makes no sense. So, like, and that's influenced a lot of my decisions. Like, it was stupid. Now, grateful for the lesson. But it's like, dude, and like that's the whole thing. Like, yeah, I'm
not grateful for the loans.
Yeah, dude,
so I paid them off.
It's funny to me that like,
dude, they're terrible.
My dad looks at me like I'm a genius because I never went to school. He looks at me like I'm a genius because
you're successful.
Well, yeah, he looks at me like I'm the genius of the family for figuring out this loophole. I was like, it's not. It's not a loophole. It's just literally knowing, like, you have to know yourself. And sometimes it takes you going to college to learn who you really are and learn those principles of, like,
that's really what it is, dude. Like, I don't think college is like you're this highly educated individual. I think college is like, let's figure out who you are, emotionally, sexually, like everything. And then let's put you through some bureaucracy so you can figure out what the world's like. You're going to go to this building 2 miles this way to pick up a piece of paper to go 6 miles that way and get a signature, then come back the other way and get a stamp, and you're signed up for your class, bud.
Dude, I think, and that's the thing though, I think like people can figure out who they are without being 80 grand, 120 grand in debt.
Yeah, you don't have to do that.
Like that's anytime I talk to anyone younger, that's like they give you the same talk track. I'm gonna go to college. I'm gonna get my basics out the way. I'm gonna get a business degree. Why? Why? I don't know. I think I should. Then don't do it. Literally don't do it. Do you have any inkling of what you want to do? No, then don't go. It is a waste of money. If you're going to be an engineer, if you're going to take a STEM degree, obviously you can't be a doctor just by word of mouth. Yeah. I get that. But like, you know what I mean? Like you have to really want to be a doctor. You have to really want to be an engineer. And we need those people in the world. But it's like, if you're like, I just think I should go, don't go. Don't go. That is a horrible idea. Get a job. And then kind of learn who you are as a person.
Oh.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I do think that's a real thing.
I mean,
of like learn who you are, have a purpose if you're going to go there. I do agree with that statement. And then also just know if it's not for you. Like be okay that college isn't for you. Like the world has shown us nowadays, like previous generations, like your grandparents feel you have to go to college because that's their route of how they got to where they're at. But it doesn't have to be your path. Like I've talked about it with like Victoria about my family versus her family, and the fact that her family cares a lot more about what I'm doing and are so proud of me for doing what I'm doing, and they understand that I can make a good living without having to go to college or anything. Whereas like my family, they're happy for me. They don't quite understand the fact that I can make a decent wage and make a career out of something without having a college degree. Like they don't ask me anything about what I'm doing with my life, what like am I happy doing what I'm doing or anything like that, cuz they just write it off as like, "Oh, you work for them. Okay." Like who cares? But there's just that different generational gap, and the reason why her family's so okay with that is because her dad went to college and stuff, but he never did anything with his college degrees or anything like that. He does machine work and he makes six figures. Like he's made a career.
Is her family has experienced going to school and getting no return. Mm-hmm. Most of the people who were like, you need to go to school, didn't go to school. Like my grandparents put away money for all three of us. They didn't go to school, and they're the most successful people in the whole family. Like,
I would go on the flip side.
Like, what are we saying here?
So like for the flip side for me is my family thinks that way because that's how my grandfather did what he did. Like,
oh, he went to school. Well, that makes sense. As like the head of your family.
He jumped in on the ground floor of aviation when it was happening. He developed helicopters and stuff like that. Like, he was on the cutting edge of technology, which is, it's crazy to believe that that's, my grandfather was like that. Of like, I'm going to be on the cutting edge of technology. Like, that's what I'm going to do. Like,
well, see, that makes sense. Because he was on the experience side of it. He was like, my life was bettered from this. My grandparents were like both, well, my grandma was fairly okay, but my grandpa was super poor. Family, like 15-ish. Mm-hmm. And he left when he was about 17, and he joined the Navy when he was 17. But my point is, I'm going to go into all that. My point is they literally, he married my grandmother and they had nothing. My mom's crib was a drawer and a dresser. Like, they had nothing, and they went from nothing to, I don't know what they have now, but the last time I spoke to my uncle about 2 years ago, not like spoke to him, but like about this specifically, he speculated that they're millionaires, but they won't tell any of the kids, like their kid, like my aunts, uncles, or my mom. I mean, but they literally came from nothing. Mm-hmm. And then their mind, they're like, we're going to make the lives for our grandchildren easier by giving them this opportunity to go to college. Mm-hmm. But they don't really know what you get from college. I mean, I went to college and did nothing with it. Same thing with my brother. But then your grandpa went to college and was successful.
Yeah, well,
so I mean, I can see why he pushes it.
For him, like, obviously he's no longer around, but like looking back on it, like these are the conversations I wish I could have had for him, but he would never open up about it. Like, he was a weird guy in the fact that he didn't talk about the past. He didn't care what he did in the past. Like I tried to have a conversation with him about what he did and all the stuff he did while he was at Bell. He wouldn't talk to me about it. He didn't care about that. He wanted to talk what was happening right now, what he was doing now. He didn't care about the stuff that was in the past. And then on top of that, too, to find out, like, this stone cold grandfather was apparently really progressive in the workplace. Like, had an open door policy of, like, y'all come in, we can talk about anything. You want to talk about life? That's fine. We'll talk about life. It's crazy because when we went to the funeral and the wake and all that and meeting those people, and they're like, yeah, your grandfather did a lot for me. Like, he never gave me money or anything, but he gave me wisdom and shared his wisdom with me. Knowing that he was the head of engineering for Bell Helicopter and had an open door policy of like, come in, talk to me, even if it's about life stuff. That's perfectly fine. Let me talk to you. But I see him in a different light because he wasn't like that for me. It was weird. It's weird to see that.
I know what you mean, man.
And
I
I think,
But
well, yeah, and like, you know, the one thing you're pointing out, you know, Schwinn, is that their way of sending y'all to college is not, you know, we're talking about college and we're like, don't go if you don't know why you're going. It's like they don't mean any harm by sending y'all to college. They're just like, how can I give someone else a head start?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, they have no ill intention of like sending you for no reason. They're just like, I just want to try to catch y'all up to speed if I can. Yeah. So it's totally different, you know. And 100%.
That's on point. I mean, I still remember the state was really eerie hearing it. But my grandfather, I was talking to him on his porch, and it was, I want to say it was after Trump got elected. So it was like, I mean, he's hardcore Republican, but even after Trump got elected, I remember he looked at me and he was like, you know, son, after I had your mother and your aunt and your uncle, and then they had you grandkids, he's like, my only goal in life was to make sure I left this world a better place than when I was born into it. And I think we got on that topic because he was I don't know how it's happened now, but he was debating with city council. They were trying to build a neighborhood behind his house. He's been debating with city council to fight it and to keep his property value up. And that's how it got there. But he was like, I feel like, he told me, and this is, dude, my grandpa is super proud, super, I don't saying in a bad way, very confident, very like, he's sure of himself, everything. And he was like, I've never felt more like I failed as a grandfather, father, and a man than leaving you children, my children and my grandchildren in the world that it is today. He is like, I personally feel like y'all have less opportunity than I did when I was your age. Mm-hmm. I was like, holy crap. Like, and that's powerful, dude. Yeah. He grew up in like the 30s and 40s. Like, what the heck? I don't know.
It's powerful. It is powerful, and it doesn't mean a lot, not to take away that moment, but it's perspective. Because, you know, their generation, you know, both of your grandfathers, my grandfather, probably more great-grandfather because my family's really young. Well, no, even grandfather. They picked a job, that's where you're at the rest of your life. That's it.
That's what he said. He had 40 hours a week, supported a wife and 3 kids. That was it.
Yep.
Well, not even the wages, not even the inflation. I'm saying like my great-grandfather who passed, he worked at GM his whole life. There's a million grandpas that did that. They picked Bell Helicopter. Yeah. And not just your grandpa, Clayton. I have a grandpa who worked at Bell Helicopter. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. They picked one job. That was
my
what
grandpa's IBM.
With our generation,
yeah,
right. Our generation and the one preceding us, like my sisters, is so different. We will switch careers multiple times throughout our lives. Like this, what we're at right now will not be where we're at in 10 years.
Well, see,
most likely not. It might be a different avenue of that, but we're so career fluid because our perspective is there's more opportunities. Mm-hmm. Social media influencing. I know most people don't feel like it's a job. It's an opportunity. YouTube,
the internet social media opened up a lot.
Drop shipping is now accessible to consumers. Like, dude, there's more opportunities.
Hell, even the Facebook Marketplace, like you can sell your own items. You don't have to have a garage sale on a certain weekend every month. Well, like, hey, I can sell everything I own every day of the week.
I also feel like it also comes down to a degree too of like, yes, they feel like there's less opportunity. Like he may feel that way, but for us too, we're also willing to jump to the grass is always greener on the other side. To me, it feels like they never made that jump. They were scared to make that jump, whereas we're like, I can't make the wage I want to make here. I'm not going to grind it out for 20 years to get to the place I want to be at now. I'll go to this company. It may not put me there, but their track is 10 years. And then you go to that company and you're like, let's go to this one. This one will get me there quicker. So, like, I feel like our generation isn't scared to go see if that grass is greener or not.
We're not scared to fail.
Yeah.
And not it's kind of a good way and a bad thing. Like when old people come in with their phones, they're so scared they press the delete button or the copy button or whatever on messages or email or anything.
Yeah.
That is so crucial. It's going to screw up their entire life and it can't be reset. Our generation is set on the mindset of like, even if I screw this up, I can fix it. Like, it's okay. I can go somewhere else. I can do this. Like that has to be part of it.
Well, I feel like
they're very much set on like, I have to do this right or it's going to everything.
I feel like it also comes down to the fact of like being younger. I feel like when you're younger, and I say it to my customers, like older people also understand how much money they've put into something. That's why they're scared to mess with it. Whereas they're like, True. I mean, you give a kid $1,000 iPad, that kid's not scared to screw it up, so he doesn't have that fear. He doesn't care if it messes up. He didn't spend $1,000 on it. You know what I mean? Like a kid's not scared to break $1,000
as adults,
phone.
Though. I know, but I'm saying even like simple tasks, like us three as adults, like I've had multiple customers who get extremely stressed out because they have unread emails. That's it. It's just unread.
Oh my God.
It stresses them out. Like and
why?
They feel like everything is coming to an end. And
it's pixels on a screen.
Exactly.
I know what you mean. It's pixels on a screen, and there's a button I can press to make all those pixels go away.
And I'll even show them mine. I'm like, sir or ma'am, I have 15,000 unread. It doesn't do anything. No. I've spent hours going through this, and I gotta fix it. And I'm like,
I also feel like that comes down to us differently in the weight of it. As for us, we're like, dude, it's an email. It's 90% spam anyways. I really don't care about it. Whereas for them, they're still locked in that mindset of like, everything I get is obviously super important. And it's like, no.
Sent straight to me.
Yes, like they still feel that personal connection. Whereas like when we look at an email, we're like, oh, cool. We're on a list that 1 million other people are on. I don't care.
Yeah, and it's like even your mail that actually comes into your box. What like why do they think that's different? Because when they grab that mail, they're like spam, ad, bill. Oh, here's this one's actually for me. Throw away the rest. Take that actually. Like I'm like, why do y'all treat it any different? But yeah, and I think dude, it's so much of that. It is so much of that. The career fluidity, and it plays into so many other things. You know, dude, and I wonder what ours is going to be.
But I think Quentin's right in the fact, too, that we're not scared to fail. Because I also feel like it could be that sense of desperation of, like, we're just like, so what if it fails? Like, we're willing to shoot for the big time because so what if it does fail? I'm no worse off now.
Grasping.
Yeah.
We're grasping. Me, personally, I'm grasping. Like the Macari thing, I'm still doing it. It's slowed down drastically. But I'm still doing it. I just sold a Ninetales Fox Pokemon card for $16. Probably going to be worth a lot more in a couple years, but whatever, dude. I'm still trying. I'm still going to keep pursuing this. And then I picked up the Uber. I'm not doing it like every single day, but on my days off, I'm hitting it. Wasn't able to hit it the past week, but I'm still going to hit it this week. Like, I'm still going to do it. The crypto, the same thing. And like the last time I talked to my brother, I realized in his head, like when I tell him this, he's like, when did you start doing that? Or when did you start doing that? Like when he's like, when I started doing Macari, he was like, oh, that's really cool. How do you do that? And it's taken him a couple of months to work up the confidence to be like, I'm going to start doing that. And he started to list stuff on eBay and asked me advice for it. And then the last time I talked to him, I was like, yeah, dude, I was at Clayton's house when we did D&D. I was like, I'm doing Uber and crypto. He's like, when did you start that? Like, why are you doing that? You know, and it's like, when I started Uber, I was scared. I don't know what was happening. I was just like, I'm just going to try it. And then money went to my account. I was like, that's cool. Like, in the crypto, my mom's like, that's super sketchy, Q. And I'm like, why not try it? Like, what do I have to lose? There has to be something more than just this 9 to 5. I cannot support me, my wife, and my family that I want to have off this 9 to 5. I have to have multiple streams. That has to be.
And your crypto is a perfect segue, because that's what the point I was trying to catch. I forgot, but thank you for bringing it back up. That I talked to an older person today and like 2 weeks ago about crypto, and they're just like deathly terrified. And I'm like, I tell them the same thing every time. I'm like, I don't put any money in that I couldn't lose. I'm not putting my
you have to pay your bills
money
first.
In here.
Yeah.
I'm not putting
extra money.
I'm not putting anything that would put me in detriment. I'm like, the money that I would go out to eat with, the money I would drink with, $20 here and there, $50 every now and then. You know what I mean? Like,
and it makes you realize how much you spend on crap. That's what it's made me realize.
Yeah. And even that, they're just like, they're so risk adverse because they're older. They are up in their years. And they're like, I don't have time to take risks. But one of the things I heard from somebody I look up to was like, being so risk adverse for your whole life will make you poor. It'll make you miserable, because it's like, you never took a swing. You know what I mean? Like,
you didn't take a chance.
I don't think I'm going to become a crypto millionaire, but it's like, there's something here. There's something here. For me to not be a part of it, to me to not take any risk. Come on, dude.
You have to be okay with the volatility to be comfortable with crypto. But hang on, I got to use the restroom real quick. I will be right back.
That's fine. I mean,
yeah.
At the end of the day, though, like crypto and everything like that, so what? I feel like that is true about our generation, that we're not scared to fail. We're not scared to try, because like, what's the point in not? Like, we've been coached and taught like, this isn't going to be here forever. So it's like, okay, well, if it's not going to be here forever, if I fail, I'm not going to be here forever. So what's it matter, right?
You know, and I don't even know if it's our generation, dude. Because
it could just be a mindset for certain people.
It's certain groups of people, dude. Because like, there's plenty of people still not in crypto. You know, right now it's hot. It's hot again. It was hot like 3 years ago. Now it's having its resurgence. It's hot again. Like, I get it. We're jumping in when it's hot, but whatever. You know, we're in it. You know, stocks are hot right now. That's a hot topic right now. And there's still people not jumping in. And not saying everybody should jump in, because 90% of people don't know what they're doing. That's, you know what I mean? But they won't even take the risk with like $100. They won't even take the risk with, you know, let's say that somebody's got, you know, $3,000 in their checking account. They could lose 500 and be fine. But they won't even throw 500 at anything. But they will spend the 500 going to the club, you know, or buying whatever, you know, buying some stuff they don't need, buying stuff they just don't need. And it's like, it's not even like a whole preaching about money. It's just like, take a risk, take a risk, take a risk.
I mean, that's the thing with everything, right? Everything's taking a risk. If you never take a risk, you never end up anywhere. Like you were saying, if you don't take risk and you're scared to take a risk, you'll never be anything. And like for me, it's like I have that part of me that's cautious, that never wants to take a risk, but I have to push myself through that.
Yeah. Dude, you know, anyone we look up to at least took a risk. And even if they're not at the pinnacle of their art form, at the pinnacle of what they deem as the most successful, they're still something. They're still made something of themselves, and they're living the life they want to live. That's all that is, you know, and that's like, you know, people try to downplay any type of that as like, you know, well, you're not the best at it. It's like, dude, yeah, but I'm something, you know. But, you know, Q, while you were away, what we were talking about is like making any risk. Like it doesn't have to be huge, and then it's not going to make you number one, but it's like, take some type of risk.
I mean, to me, it's like going back to an act of bravery. I mean, you know, just like you going out to do personal training, I mean, in the end, you weren't successful, but you took a risk, and you took that risk, I would say, for your own mental health and your emotional health, like not financially. Like, obviously that's going to be stressful because you weren't sure. It was like a sink or swim, but you took that risk. You had the experience. You know what's going on. It's no regrets. Like, if you hadn't taken that risk and you were sitting here today, I guarantee you'd be thinking about, like, man, or you might still be at Weight Mechanical right now. You may not have even been at AT&T. It doesn't take you down that path.
Right. And that's the thing. Like, that was another risk to take, was taking a sales job, because I was scared. I was freaking scared. I was like, dude, I know I can talk to people, but how can I sell?
Dude, I remember me and my mom and my brother talking about that for like a year. Like, oh, Devin would be so good at that. Devin would be so good at that. And then he finally did it. And I remember you trying to sell me on AT&T for like a year. You're like, dude, just do it. Just do it. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. And I was like, no. And I finally did it. I was like, it's not that bad. But like, it is taking a risk. Because, like, going back to like what Clayton was saying earlier about financial freedom, I was afraid. I was afraid to leave what I had. Even though it was worse than AT&T, I was like, I'm losing this thing, this guarantee, like this goose egg or something, you know.
It's losing the safety net,
so,
man.
And Jordan Peterson once said this. He's like, you're talking about taking, you know, switching careers. And he's like, you know, but the devil I know is better than the devil that I don't know. And he's like, don't be so sure of that. And it's like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's
like,
a good
you don't
point.
know that. You don't know that. Yeah. Because that is what we tell ourselves.
That's a really good point.
When I don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I mean, dude, I remember being super scared going to apply to AT&T. And I remember, dude, my mom pushed me for like almost a year. It was like a year. I remember you told me about it on my birthday when I turned 21 or 22. It was in 2018. And then at the end of that year is when I finally applied and did it. But I remember all year she's like, go apply to AT&T. Your friends are making money. You're doing good. Go apply over there. And I was just like so scared for some reason. I don't know why. It was just such a scary step to take. And now that I'm here, I'm like, this is what I was scared of?
Yeah.
Well, that's not
you realize how simple it really is.
But I don't regret it because it helped change my life, I feel like, for the better. Mm-hmm. I mean, when I started AT&T, I was kind of in a bad place, but the people that I've met and the experiences I've had and all that, like, I don't regret it all. And I mean, to be completely honest, like, whenever I leave this job, the hardest part is going to be leaving knowing that Devin is my DM and Jamie and Dave are my coworkers. Like, I have serious love and respect for them. Yes, exactly. Like, I was sad when Trent left. I was sad when Gino left, even though it was on bad terms. I was still really sad about it. I'm still sad about it. Like, the people, you know, your work fam, like, that's going to be the hardest part for me to, like, walk away from. Like, even if a better opportunity arises, it's still going to be hard to walk away from that. Mm-hmm. Like,
what is funny is, like, you say about the fear, and I said about the fear, like, when you do feel that, you're actually probably heading the right direction. Because I was like, dude, when I get scared, I'm like, this is the right thing to do. Like, I was so scared to upload my first YouTube video. So freaking scared again. I was so freaking scared, and I was like, do it. Come on. You know why you're scared. You're scared for no reason. And every time I go to hit publish, I'm just like, and I'm like, do it. That means you're headed in the right direction. I'm like, all right. And then, like, I'll go to write something or I'll go to film a video. Like, I'll turn my iPhone on and I'll stare at it for like 20 minutes and I'll, like, mime the video. And then I'm like, dude, you're doing it again. You're scared. This means you're doing it right. So I'll be like, all right. And I'll just, like, get it done. And it's like, when you're scared, you're probably headed in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. Well, what's funny to me is what you said, Quentin, about, like, feel like you're gonna be sad when those people leave. Is it reminds me?
No, it would be myself leaving myself.
Yeah, well, even then, you get sad when people leave and stuff like that. What's funny about that is that circles back to the end of The Office, Do you remember what Creed said at the end of The Office?
I remember what, not Creed, but I remember what the manager said. That wasn't Michael, the dude from Hangover.
Yeah, so what Creed says at the end of it is humans have this crazy, beautiful knack to make anywhere they go a home. And like that, it resonates with me because it's true. Like, you're spending more time with those people than you do most of your family. So
True.
Like, yeah,
but
there's a reason why it sucks when you leave. But like Devin's saying, it's a necessary thing to do to keep progressing yourself. Like, I think it was Hobson who's like in one of his videos straight up said like, the friends you have now are not always destined to be the friends you always have. People drop in and out of your life, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, but I also feel like it depends on who you work with because, I mean, the warehouse job, like, I don't know, dude. I don't remember any of those people. Like, I mean, I remember Dylan's dad because that's who got me the job, but that's it. I mean, and then
my warehouse. See, here's the thing about my warehouse job. Yes, family got me the job. My uncle worked in the office. Oh, instead of my cousin. So I did have like kind of an inside track, but I remember those because I hope I never forget how they pushed me to leave. Because I was like, that's not what I want to be.
Yeah. That's funny because in my same situation, all the older dudes, they're like 40 plus, like, get out of here, man. We've all been here since we graduated. We just kind of stayed. There's only one guy who actually lives on 607. His name was Pat. And he told me, he was like, I know all these old men discouraging you and you just got this job. But he's like, if you want to, he's like, you can make a living at it. So you make, I think he said like 45,000 to maybe 50 if you're lucky by the end of it. He's like, I'm not saying it's the greatest, but he's like, you can make a living. And he was just honest with me about it. And I was like, okay. And then I got out.
Dude, I remember one of the oldest guys at the shop. When I told him, like, everybody else was just kind of like giving me crap. Oh, bye. I remember one guy was like his eyes lit up. I was like, you're leaving? I was like, yeah, I'm going to go be a personal trainer. He's like, how old are you, man? Like that old man seeing a young man go on his journey, like, re-energized him. Like, I never seen him that happy in his life. He's like, what are you going to go do? I'm like, I'm going to be a personal trainer. And he's like, wow. He's like, you have so much ahead of you. You don't even like that. Like he probably took him back to when he first made a decision, and he's like, and he's just like, go do it, man. Like he's like, get out of here and don't look back.
Well, what's crazy is
that's
like
how it was, man.
You need those people in your life. You know what I mean? Like, it's funny that like you probably can look back at a lot of those people and be like, wow, dude, I feel sorry for him and everything like that. The other thing is, too, if they were never at that place, they may not have helped you ever push to go somewhere else. So, like, even them not being in a good place in their life can make you, like, you still gain something from it because they're pushing you to push for something else. Of like, you don't want to be here.
That's what they all say. They're like, man, you're young. You got time to make mistakes.
Dude, yeah, like, they get it. Like, they're like, this is the man's journey. This is the journey I took, and they're like, I'm trying to save you from this same journey, dude. Like, get out of here. Like, it's like the river of lost souls. They're like, don't go forward. Go the other way, dude. Get off the river right now. I remember Mikey. You don't remember Mikey, dude? A super Italian Mikey. Steven, the cook. I don't think you got to work with Mikey.
I don't think I got to work. You talked about him. He's the morning guy.
Yeah, because he only works in the mornings. Yeah, I remember, man, that guy. Same thing. Something about him when he talked to me, his eyes lit up. He saw so much in me. He's like, dude, yeah, like same thing. He was giving me that older man advice, like, go do something else. Go do something else.
Get out of here.
And I remember he he told me his first job he took. Or one of his first jobs he took, man. He's like, his boss was a super old guy, and he pulled him in the back, and he gave him a tree as his first gift. It's like a little baby, like a little baby tree. He's like, you go plant this. And he's like, if you're still here, by the time it's full grown, hang yourself from it.
Dang.
It's like, even his very first, one of his first jobs, his boss is like, yeah, this tree's full grown and you're still here. Hang yourself from it. Get out of here. It's so funny how that archetype is in so many places. Like the old man telling the young guy, like, listen, dude, don't make the mistakes I made and get out of here.
Dude, I mean, it's no joke. Like, that's really how it is.
All right, guys. You all ready to call it?